Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Starjump Shipyard, or just Starjump. I don't know what we're going to call it going forward. We're going to make some big changes. We're going to talk a little bit about that later. Thanks for everyone joining tonight and hanging out. I did start the stream. Well, I had the stream started at this time, or scheduled to start this time. Then I bumped it an hour earlier today, and then I was like, you know what? Nope. Everything is cleared up for me, so I moved it back to the original time. So sorry about that, but it was technically originally always scheduled to start at this time. So, but anyways, thank you all for coming in, hanging out. It's going to be a fun evening tonight. We got a lot to go over. We are going to talk about the Rotterdam kind of Star Citizen related leaks, or I wouldn't call them leaks. Let's call them barroom conversations. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to dive into some other stuff related to Star Citizen surrounding Alien Week and heading on into, IAE later this year. In addition, as you all know, it is... Actually, let me pull this up real quick because I am not as ready as I thought I would be for this stream for some reason, and that's okay. Hopefully, I'll get myself ready. Okay, yes. I'm almost ready. Anyways, we're going to be going over our final raffles for this year, okay? And that's what we're going to start off with right off the top of the show. We have a bunch of raffles to do tonight, everyone. So yes, this is all going to be conversation that builds towards raffle time. Okay, so let me swing it on over here so you can see what is going on tonight. We have the Ironclad and Ironclad Assault raffle. You can get on those. $60 donation will get you a ticket for that. Please follow the QR code or the Tiltify link I'm about to pin to both chats. I don't have Art producing tonight. He had to work, but that is okay. We're gonna make do without him somehow. We're gonna make this work somehow.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. We do have GearCon with us though. Gear, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Hope everyone else is also ready for all the ships.
It's a lot. It's a lot. If I think we are in the process. If any of you have won ships, you're either in the process of getting them or have got them. But obviously email any issues. But yes, we have Ironclad and Ironclad Assault raffle tonight. $60 donation can get you in on that one. Actually, no, I'm wrong. It's a $75 donation. I did this graphic wrong. It's a $75 donation, everyone. I totally screwed that up. I'm going to have to change that. Background. $75 donation will get you the Ironclad and Ironclad Assault raffle. $60 donation will get you the Polaris ticket for the raffle for it. And then, of course, a $100 donation will get you in on the Masters of Industry raffle, which is super cool. The Masters of Industry raffle is the Pioneer, the Arastra, the Hull B, the Reclaimer, the Mole, the Vulture, the Golem, and the C2 Hercules. How awesome is that, everybody? Let's see. I'm checking to see if I have...
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple of questions. Yeah, you can win more than once if you've purchased more than one ticket. If you win once on the wheel, what happens basically is that spot is cooked. You burned, so your name's off on that location. Yes. But if you're somewhere else on the wheel, you can win again.
That is correct. I'm actually going to fix that graphic really quick here because we just cannot have that. We can't have the wrong price up because I do plan on showing this more than once tonight. So I'm going to fix that right now. But while I do that, hopefully everyone can hang out. How's everybody doing? Is everyone having a good weekend? Hopefully so. I'm almost done. We're doing it live, people, because that's how we do it here on this show. Real quick, actually, while I'm getting this ready, I do want to talk a little bit more about this year's St. Jude Play Live. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. Obviously, we have had content going all the way back to... Sorry, what's that?
The goal was just met.
Oh, awesome. There we go, everybody. There we go, everyone. The goal was met. Thank you very much. You're all amazing. Congratulations to you all. You all made that happen, of course. I am done updating that graphic. There we go, everyone. Look at that. $500. We've had a couple of donations coming here. $60 from Rhino 457, $75 from SVL 75, $100 from Reclusiark, it's hard to say, and $500 from Lazy Donuts. Lazy, you're a maniac. I do appreciate it, buddy. Okay, got this graphic reset up. That means, everyone, we have hit a Starjump lifetime raised of $100,657. That's incredible. That is incredible. Currently, you all have raised $60,099.93. That is insane. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart to all of you. You have all really shown up this year. It's been an incredible April and May. Like I said, it's just been, we've had a ton of content planned. Obviously, April was a big build-up. I think our first St. Jude show just rocked. I forget how much it was, like 3,000 or something we raised, like on the first show. I can't even remember, but it was absolutely incredible. Dr. Nosa says, congrats on the epic work, Graham and team. Thank you very much, Doctor. Appreciate it. No, Norse, you haven't missed any drawings. It's going to be at the end of the show. But it's just been a really, really incredible journey. Obviously, big thanks to GearCon, who's on voice here with me. Gear donating all the ships you see that have been up for the raffles for April, May. I'm not even sure what the final tally of value is for all the ships GearCon has offered up for these raffles, but it's probably would make anyone take a beat. It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you're in chat right now, and if you've appreciated all this and you've enjoyed the journey, whether you've donated or not donated, doesn't matter. You were here. Throw an 07 in chat. Give GearCon a little bit of love for putting up so much stuff to donate. It's been incredible. And obviously a huge, huge primary reason so much money has been raised. And, the raffles just go a long damn way. I don't really know how else to say it. Obviously, I didn't script this part of the show or anything, anyone. I'm just sort of saying this off the cuff, but it is very, very much true. So those are some big numbers up there. Those are some big numbers. 100,000, over 100,000 now Starjump lifetime raised, and $60,000 this year. It's just incredible. When we started on April 1st, I remember my very first play live stream for this year. I had an idea of what we'd hit. I actually had an idea of what I thought we'd get to at the end of April, May. And it was a pretty good amount. It was a pretty good amount because I knew this community would show up and, put towards such an amazing event. Eagle0013 with a $235 donation. My God, Twisted Void with a $2,000 donation. All right, I guess I got to get the beans here. Rhino 457 with a $175 donation. Twisted, though, all of you are maniacs. DevilDog.Games with a $220 donation. Twisted, a $2,000 donation. I gotta say that one again because he's just getting wild with it there. Everyone, you're crazy. You're crazy and wild. I don't know what else to say. I owe you some beans though. That much is true. I mean, you know what?
Thank you much.
Yeah, I may need to do a giveaway for something. You know what? I'm going to do a giveaway tonight. I got to get it planned here in the background, so give me a minute on that. But I am going to do a giveaway. I am going to do a giveaway. Let's see. How can I do that? Let's because I got to celebrate y'all a little bit. I got an idea though. I'm going to announce it in a little bit. We're going to not start it right quite yet. But I'm going to do a giveaway where I'm going to do a giveaway for two giveaways. And I'm going to give away 2 pieces of Starjump merch off the merch store if you're interested. Okay. As a huge thank you to you all. You all have been amazing. That's crazy. That's crazy. I should, though, take this time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's take this moment, go over that fine print. You all know it. What's important. Obviously, the raffles, all ships are generously provided by your boy GearCon, who's in chat right now. Winners will be contacted within 5 days of drawing via email. Winners will have 7 days from the time the notification email is sent to claim their prize. That is for everyone who is going to win a raffle tonight. Failure to claim your prize within the specified time will result in a new drawing with a new winner. Okay. Now, the winner, I guess, could technically be you again, because I'm just going to pull the same names and do the random wheel of, random wheel of names. But just a heads up, if you win, I will contact you via email. It'll be from starjump.org@gmail. Okay. And then, yes, I will be doing confirmations. So there'll be no scamming. I'm on top of it. We got a system. But thank you so much, everyone. You've been incredible. We've raised it's been, like I said, going back to the journey, it's been a fun 2 months. It's been a hectic 2 months. There's been a lot to plan, making sure the shows were regular, making sure we were hyping things up properly. And by the way, yes, the question bot is running. Thank you, Pickles. You can just do question and the bot will pick it up, everyone. But it's just been incredible. But it is a lot of work. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. I know some of you don't get to see that, of course, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, not only to organize the raffles, but just to get my show content planned and prepped to put out on a regular basis with stuff to talk about. So I want to do a big shout out to Artorius. He's not on tonight, but obviously been a huge critical help in helping me produce the shows, get show notes drawn up, contact guests, get planning set up, and a host of other things. Remind me when show times are messed up, etc. So Norse Peak says, can we buy a ticket more than once? Yes, you can buy as many tickets as you want. So for example, for the Masters of Industry pack, if you donated $1,000, you can get 10 tickets for it. Absolutely you can.
And 60 your name just goes on 10 times.
Yeah. $60 Captain Coyote and $60 from Misty Pine 38. Thank you very much. That is amazing. Do appreciate that. And everyone, obviously we got GearCon here. Donated a ton of ships as he does. But I want to slide over from GearCon for a minute here and thank another supporter, PigeonSpaceport.com. Big shout out to them. They are a show sponsor right now. I am a partner with them, and they have offered up a physical Scorpius model from their new line of officially licensed CIG Scorpius models. These are ABS injection molded. The wings can articulate. You can get them in 3 different paint jobs. I forget how much these are. They're like 200 something bucks or something, but they've offered up a free one. So we're going to do that raffle tonight too. $25 donation towards this raffle. You can get a ticket for this. I will do this drawing tonight too. You'll receive a code from me that you can use upon checkout. I don't even have one of these yet, people. I don't even have one. Okay. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of cool stuff to get through. So that essentially means we got 4 raffles to do tonight. Okay. Norse Peak with a $60 donation. We got 4 raffles. Okay, which is amazing. And we have, I'm on the wrong page, 4 raffles. We have the Ironclad and Ironclad Assault raffle. You will get both of those ships. Okay, we're going to talk about the Ironclad in a little bit here. There's a Polaris raffle. The odds on this, if you put a donation on this one, everyone, you got really good odds. We've sold a number of tickets to this one now, but in terms of the ticket amounts, this is like the lowest. We've sold the least amount of this particular raffle. So your odds are pretty good, okay? And then, of course, the Masters of Industry raffle, another huge one, and then the Scorpius model raffle. So, yeah, really cool. Gear, do you want to say anything about Play Live this year?
It's been amazing. We went into it. I was hoping we would generate, we would do better than last year. Last year we made 24,000 for St. Jude's.
Yeah.
And, that was my hope. I was thinking we could do a lot better, and wow, we really just knocked it out of the park. I can't thank you all enough.
Yeah, it's been really cool. I don't know with, next year, things may happen differently. I may do it completely different. I may do St. Jude a completely different time of the year. I don't know. It's a really rough time to do it, I should add, because Play Live and Defense Con and all that stuff is going on, and it is a really difficult time to do it. But it is a lot of fun. It is rewarding, and I've had a lot of fun doing it with you all. And make sure all of you give yourselves an 07 for donating to such a great cause. Do appreciate it. Enzo with a $25 donation. Ohio Medic with a $40 donation. Thank you very much. Okay, really quick here. I'm setting up a few things. If you bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. Okay. On the YouTube side of things, I'm about to pin a new thing. We are going to do giveaways tonight. And that is going to be for your choice of Starjump merch, your choice of a Starjump merch store item, okay? And we have lots of stuff, including the really cool Kraken Captain mug, along with a couple other cool mugs, shirts, hats, all that kind of good stuff. If you're interested in that or getting in on that, it's very, very easy. If you're over on YouTube, all you're going to do is go to the link I just pinned to chat, leave a comment on that video. Okay, it could be hi, hello, merch store, Starjump, whatever you want to put. It could just be one word. But put a comment there, okay? And if you're over on Twitch, it's super easy. All you got to do is do exclamation ticket. And I'm going to pull 2 winners later, okay? And that'll give you the ability to choose your choice of items off the Starjump merch store. And I will get those processed for you and sent out to you. The merch store is about to undergo some expansions as well. So pretty excited about that. But there we go. And that's like I said, that's just kind of a big thank you to you all for showing up this year. Like I said, it's been just a really incredible Play Live period. Okay. I think it's time to get into some things. First, there was a, actually, let me get my windows set up here, people. There was, a bar citizen that occurred in Rotterdam just this past Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Correct me if I'm wrong, everyone. This past Saturday. In addition to that, there was TwitchCon in the same place and over there in Rotterdam. It's actually funny. I got a few connections to Rotterdam, which is interesting. So I thought it was funny that everything happened there. Hey, $60 from Europa. Thank you very much, Europa. And everyone, just to be clear, the raffles will happen in a little bit, okay? We're going to get a little bit down the road here on the show, get about an hour into it, and then we'll start doing some of the giveaways, some of the raffles, okay? So hang tight. And we will be getting to those. We might spread them out a little bit too, okay, so that we're not doing all the raffles all at once, okay? $60 from Dark Tiger. Thank you very much. But yes, we had a big bar citizen event in Rotterdam, and as usual with those type of events, some information came out, and I think it's worth discussing. Okay, let me back up here. Am I on the right page? Well, stand by, everyone. I had my news set up, my show notes. Okay, yes, here we go. So yes, there was some Star Citizen related news. Obviously, you get CIG devs in a place. You know, they're out enjoying the festivities, having a drink here, there, etc. And obviously, they're going to talk with the fans about this game that we all know and love so much. And of course, additional information comes out through that. And, you know, the funny thing is a lot of really good information comes out through the bar citizens from time to time. So I think it's worth talking about some of this stuff. This also may tangent us into some other conversations centered around Star Citizen. Okay. So the first one was just some general information that was talked about during the event. And the first one was about ships, and this is something I've talked about many times on the show, ships that were built for Squadron 42 that seem like they take a long time to come over to Star Citizen, right? Now, we've seen some of those happen, you know, the F-8C, F-7A Mark II, the Stinger, Idris, right? May get more at some point in the Javelin. But with that, the question was sort of essentially, or the comment was sort of made in relation to, why does it take so long for those ships to come to the PU? And this is something I've talked about many times. Those ships are built around Squadron 42. They're built around the Squadron 42 story and what has to happen in that story. Simon, nice to see you. This is another reason I've said many times that ships like the Kraken or other big capital ships, the Pioneer, for example, ships that are big ships that are not built for for Squadron 42 are going to have a very different probably feel than the big ships that are primarily built for Squadron. A good example of that obviously being the Idris. Any of you flown around in Idris recently will know that there's some areas of the ship that seem a little like convoluted, or some rooms there that you're kind of like, why is this on this ship? And again, those all tie into Squadron 42. So, the Idris is like that. I melted my Idris because of those reasons to some degree. But I am really excited for some of these other capitals, and we do have that a little bit with the 890. But I am excited for some of these newer, more modern capitals to come to the verse and see how they differ from sort of Squadron 42 focus ships. So that was something that was brought up, and we'll get to see how that comes out. But even ships like the Stinger in Squadron 42, there's some visible differences. Some exterior differences, possibly some interior differences, but definitely some exterior differences between the Squadron 42 Stinger and the PU Stinger. There's also differences, for example, between the Squadron 42 Javelin and the PU version of the Javelin, right? And this is again stuff I've talked about before, but with the PU version of the Javelin, for example, I'll pull up this image here. It's two main turrets on the rear that slide up on the rails. It's quad size 9s, right? But on the Squadron 42 version, it's dual size 10s, right? And there may be other differences there too that I'm unaware of, but that's just one difference I can point out. So just because a ship is represented a certain way in the PU doesn't always mean it's going to be represented that way, in Squadron or vice versa, right? So, and then of course, North Speaks there mentions older models versus newer models. Again, we've seen some model updates as well, so you can expect that. Another bit of news regarding the Kruger Stingray, which I'm assuming is sometime this summer, either July, August, something like that. But Kruger Stingray says here will release with 3 transformation states compared to most ships 2, using the Scorpius as the example there. It says here the Eclipse is supposed to have 3 states. I didn't realize that. Does anyone know what the third state of the Eclipse is? I'd be curious to know.
Can't say I do.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm on here with the art window. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm used to having art on here. But they do say that the Stingray will be the first to have them actually working, which is cool. I do wonder if that means if that is related to ships having the ability to have third states activated in general. For example, one of those ships was the Arrow, right? They talked about the Arrow being able to fold its wings up without its landing gear going down, right? Or vice versa. And they talked about that, being like essentially a third state. Maybe that's what it is. I see some people in chat chiming in there.
Kind of folding up its wingtips, right, for the to fit more.
Yeah, maybe so.
Carriers.
Yeah. So again, we've heard a little bit about that. Quinn there saying the Caterpillar elevators, etc. So yeah, there's ships that are supposed to have these third states. We'll have to see. Yeah, the Corsair does that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly what they mean by a third transformation state. I don't know if the wing folding out thing actually applies here, because you're right. The Corsair, you can do that. You can fold up the wings without the gears going up. So I'm not sure. I'm excited, but I am excited about the Kruger Stingray. I really like the Alpha Wolf. I did not think I was going to own that ship. I really didn't have any aspirations to be a Kruger owner. But not only does it look really good, but even more important, slightly more importantly than that, it flies really good. It flies really good. So, yeah, it's one of those ships that I think we're probably due to get. If I had to guess, I think we're due to get that probably sometime this summer. Could be the June ship, but I think that obviously is going to be the Raylan and all that, the alien ship. So July, August, September. We'll have to see. They had another additional note here that says the planned monthly ships for July and August were swapped due to an unexpected situation with someone. I'm starting to wonder if the July ship again was supposed to be the Basher, which was another Grays Market ship. I am sort of wondering if maybe the Basher and the Stingray are getting switched now. We could say, obviously we'd just be speculating wildly here, but it'll be interesting to see what ships come. It's going to be an exciting summer regardless, because if the Grays Market ship and the Stingray switched, those are still two ships I'm pretty interested in. And then when you combine June being sort of the Alien Week ships and the Gattac Raylan and whatever other, this other Gattac ship is going to be, I mean, I think we're in store for a really good summer of ships. So yeah,
I agree, man. What did they say the reason was? Because of an issue with
they said was unexpected situation with someone. So it could be someone had maybe some unexpected leave. Maybe one of the primary people working on that ship had a family issue, or
my mind went to guest or something like that for a show. But yeah, you probably mean a dev asset. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Dev related thing. So okay, let's go to some other stuff here again, because lots to talk about. The first one, I thought this was interesting, and we're going to talk about this for a minute. You know it. You know this ship, everyone. It's the notorious Odin. Dark Tiger, $60.
Wolffather.
Yes, exactly. Dark Tiger with a $60 donation and Sniper Monkey with a $100 donation. Everyone, this might end up being the biggest fundraising night we'll have if it keeps going like this. We've had some crazy donations, including a $2,000 donation. How insane is that? You're all crazy. I've said it. You're all crazy, but we appreciate it.
I think we're at 4,000 already.
We might be. I mean, it's just been an incredible amount of donations. Joe Thunder throwing in here with another $160 donation. Joe Thunder, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that. This community, man, this community. One of the questions asked, it says, will the Odin come back later this year? Why the application essay? CIG Dev's answer said, yes, it will come back. As for the Javelin or Idris, do not expect the Odin soon. It's at least 5 years out. About the essay, for a ship this size, they wanted to do something out of the ordinary. The essay was for the first wave and won't happen again. Expect the ship to come back at all the usual big ship selling events. Members of the club also get a badge on Spectrum. By the way, thank you for the follows, everyone. Do appreciate the channel support. Let's talk about this for a minute. Oh, yes, Robert Vose, you're right. You know what? Pause the Odin conversation. We're going to get to it. I owe y'all a bean. Got the beans right here. Bean Boozled for all your incredible donations, because you're all legendary people, and I appreciate you so much. Again, this community, I really can't say enough about it. So, okay, I owe you all some beans. We're gonna get to it here. Let me grab the first. We just pulled two, as you see right here. So it means we got to double barrel it. We have to double barrel it. We have to honor the work here. Okay, we got either an Old Bandage or Pomegranate. Oops, let me get these in my hand. Old Bandage or Pomegranate, and Booger or Juicy Pear. So this is not going to be fun, but I'm going to do both at the same time. Bean graphic, someone's saying. You're exactly right. We got to get that Bean Time graphic up. I'm off my game tonight, Selkin. I'm off my game. Thank you very much. It's been a busy May for content, everyone. It's been a busy May for content, and Grim's a little tired. It's been a busy time. All right, everyone. It's bean time. It is bean time. Thank you for your donations tonight. Absolutely incredible. Here we go, everyone. Double barrel it. Oh boy. There's both good and bad here, everyone. There's both good and bad here. Quite a bit of bad. I think I got pomegranate, but then I also think I got booger. Yeah.
A pomegranate booger?
Mm-hmm. That's what this is. Sergeant Perry says, Bean Graphic needs to be a channel point saying for fun. I'm going to be adding it, and Twitch very soon is going to support GIFs, so expect it. Yeah, this is not fun. It's going to be stuck in my teeth, too. I can already tell. But I love y'all. So I'm doing it for y'all. I also cannot swallow right now, so this also sucks, but that's okay. I'm going to get through this. Altzilla says, Grim needs a vacation. I got one coming up, my friend. Oh boy, this is hard to get down. Hildegard with a $120 donation. Thank you very much. 694, my hero with a hydrate. Thank you very much. Appreciate
the savior with the hydrate.
Yeah. No, to be totally fair, I do have a little bit of a vacation coming up next weekend. I will be out of pocket Friday and Saturday. And that is in celebration of my birthday. My birthday is Tuesday, so day after tomorrow. I kind of forgot about it until those around me reminded me. So, yeah, birthday time. Don't have any really big plans. Essentially, I just wanted to do nothing. So my wife and daughter are going to go occupy themselves for a little bit. And I am going to essentially have a Friday, Saturday night to do nothing, which is not usual for me anymore. I'm usually very, very busy, not only with my job, but Starjump stuff and other stuff. So it'll be nice to not do anything. I'm going to get in on some of that, sorry, stand by here. Yeah, going to get in on some Star Citizen stuff, as well as some Starjump stuff and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, there we go. I'm stumbling over my words anyway. Yeah, it's birthday time. I'm getting old. 46. Be turning 46, which is crazy. Okay, let's go back to this conversation here. The Odin.
46.
What's that?
So long ago. 46. So long ago.
Yes. Yeah. It's yeah. So there we go. The Odin, going back to our question, I got my windows up here. It says, yeah, obviously, will the Odin come back? Look, this was always coming back. I said it a whole bunch of times. The Odin was coming back. I told y'all not to panic. This first wave was going to be stupid. I have since learned some methods to maybe increase my luck next time. But of course the Odin's coming back. Are you kidding me? This is probably... I need to go back and check the funding situation, but I do think that the Odin is possibly their biggest one-day sales of all time. Maybe. Let me know. I don't know. I don't know. I think it is, though. I think it is. So we'll have to see when I check the funding things. Maybe we can check that in a little bit. Or if someone, let's see, Mad Stellic says 100% it's by like 3 times their most expensive day. So what that translates into is when this ship generates your biggest sales ever in a 24-hour period, that translates to absolutely this will be sold at every major sales event. Okay, it's going to be sold at IAE, and it's going to be sold at Invictus every single year until it comes out. I think if CIG Dev said 5 years, I think that's optimistic at best. Okay, and that's not to crap on their parade. Optimistic at best, I think this ship is 7 years out. 7 years out. And I've been pretty open on why I think it's 7 years out. Or beyond the normal 5-year mark. And that is because I think they need at least 2 more Anvil capital ships in order to build this out. That's what I think.
There's so much with this ship, isn't there? Right.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's just a huge kit. Dadbot, I did get your phone message. Thank you very much. That is amazing. I will get those photos over at some point here, and I'll share them. But yes, they've got to build out the Anvil kit. The Anvil kit is nowhere near this scale. Yes, the Carrack is out, which is great. The Liberator coming soon, right? I'm don't shoot the messenger here, folks, but I think the Liberator is next Invictus. I think it's kind of funny. I think we're going to get the Kraken and Liberator at the same event, which will be funny because sometimes people compare them. But regardless, even the Liberator doesn't get you there in terms of the kit. It just doesn't, right? So that being said, what do I think we need? I think we need possibly. Here's what I would like to see from Anvil. I would either like to see a competitor to the Polaris, so a Corvette level ship from Anvil, torpedo focused. Maybe it does one thing slightly different than the Polaris. So maybe where the Polaris is fast, it's supposed to be like fast and hits you really quickly with a bunch of torpedoes. Maybe Anvil will come at it a little different, slower, but a little bit more survivability, right? But a competitor to the Polaris. I would still like to see Anvil's competitor to the Kraken. I do not think of that as the Liberator. And that's not a knock on the Liberator. I think those two ships are occupying separate regimes of carrying capabilities, right? I think the Liberator is focused around small ships. The Kraken is focused around two mediums. I would like to see Anvil's answer to the medium carrier ship. I think that'd be cool. Or another way they could do it is possibly Anvil entering a competitor on the frigate side of things. So best case scenario, some of those things are maybe even already in concepting, right? But what we do know is that they're going to have to build out whatever this Anvil manufacturer kit is for the Odin over time through other ships. It's a smart way to do it. That's how they've been doing it. Now, they have flipped that script a little bit. The Polaris was a little bit of a sidestep in that sort of way of doing things, where they kind of went with the bigger RSI ship and then worked down from there. They went then, Perseus, and we're going to get Galaxy and the Meteor and the Apollos and the Hermes and all that. The only difference with that, though, is they did have a little bit of an RSI kit going with the RSI super capitals that they've got for Squadron, right? The Bengal, the cruisers, etc. So they were able to sort of work down from there as well. So yeah, again, we've seen this with other manufacturers, though, where they kind of work up to those larger ships. So it makes sense. Another thing that was asked about, obviously this essay thing, and this is, I'm not going to belabor the essay thing because we all know how that went down. It was not the best, process for doing this type of stuff. I think we can all agree with that. It wasn't completely unexpected. Even when the essays were being filled out, I had people sending me pictures of their Kraken essay that said stuff like, "I don't want a Kraken," and they were getting in on wave one. I think everyone sort of knew, or was hoping's probably a better word. Everyone was hoping that the essay was sort of actually meant something, right? I wish CIG would address it. I'm not expecting them to. It was frustrating, though, and is always going to be frustrating when you see those essays get approved that literally are, I do not want an Odin essays. In the same vein, there's a little bit of responsibility that goes on the player base for this. It's not all CIG. It's mostly CIG. A little bit of the lesson learning, I think, could stick with the community too. For example, I heard from a lot of people, and this isn't a knock on them, but I heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not going to buy one, but I just did the essay to get in, to get a part of the Founders Club." And I was like, I think you're confused on this. The Founders Club isn't a special club you're going to be in because your essay got chosen. You're in the Founders Club if you get the Odin, which the essay did not guarantee. So what that did was it just created a glut of essays, which many of them were probably approved, where that person had no intention of buying.
Anticipated sales, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, CIG had a ratio. They didn't think it'd be 100%, but they were probably planning on 80%, 85% of people who actually did an essay.
Yeah.
Following through and buying it, or trying to.
Yeah. Mantrid with a $75 donation, and Moriokiri, I hope I said that right. Moriokiri, yes, with a $75 donation. Thank you very much.
As these sales go, the one thing I hope desperately is that they keep overall numbers low, relatively low. It feels like things have kind of lost control with things like the Idris and just so many ships out there. But I know they track loss as well, where people kind of leave the game, and I know they count that in. But yeah, I hope this stays a little bit better, under better control.
Yeah, and for those wondering, I did update the Odins in Fleet Viewer this past weekend. Made them a lot more accurate to the final factory livery. May not be perfect, but it's a lot closer, and I've got more of the actual anvil decals on there where they're supposed to be and stuff, and added additional details that were not in the holo model. So for example, the steps, the staircase that goes up the tower, and a lot of the bridge elements you see here, the little bridge greebles, those weren't on the holo model. A few other things were on the holo models, turrets and other things. So got it updated in both armed and unarmed variants. But here's what I think we can say pretty confidently, kind of mirroring what you said. Hopefully this was a learning scenario for CIG in the future. Now, I don't think we're going to have any more essay opportunities unless CIG sort of breaks what they've now went out of their way to say and do another new concept. Well, actually, that's not true. They could still technically do an essay thing for a newly released capital ship. Because here's something that's not talked about a lot. Okay? Thank you for the follows and the subscribes, everyone. You're all amazing. Right now, whole limited sales, when a new concept goes live, there are the wave drawings like Honest, right? But we're not getting any new concepts. We know that new ships are all going flight ready. Well, I think we can all surmise that we're not done getting capital ships, right? And capital to me means anything about 150 meters and above usually gets capital components. If we get another new capital that goes straight to flight ready, and I know what you're saying, that's never happened. Well, it's just because it hasn't happened yet. Eventually it's going to be happening, and I think it will happen with whatever. I think there's going to be an anvil capital that comes that goes straight to flight, ready status that we don't get a concept sale for. Okay, I think it could be a year, 2 years out, but I think we're going to get it. But when that new capital goes flight ready, I could totally see them doing another essay thing to get the chance at getting the new flight ready capital ship, right? By the way, 75% on our way to completing the sub goal. Thank you very much, everyone. So they could still do the essay thing, and I do hope they learn from it because it did leave a sour taste in your mouth, okay? My essay got approved. And I tried every trick in the book for 5 waves. I didn't do all 6 waves. One of them I slept through, but I did 5 waves, and the closest I could get it was in my cart. That was for a credit one now, for a credit one. I honestly, I know a lot of people very upset. Had a lot of people messaging me. Oh my gosh, the emotions were high. The emotions were high. I put a post up on X, essentially saying I was disappointed, but it's all good. You know, keeping it chill. I had a lot of people chime into me saying, "Hey, thanks for that. I was really upset, but now I've calmed down." And my argument was, this ship is so far out. Okay, let me recontextualize this for a minute. Okay, the Javelin. The Javelin has been, in a sense, done for years. Okay, now asterisk on that, there's maybe a room or two here or there that need to be brought up for the PU. Okay, including the modular rooms. But a lot of work is done on the Javelin. Okay, and it's still not in the game. Okay, and it's been mostly done. The Odins, they don't even have rooms concepted for this thing. So how far do you think this one is out? Very, very far. Okay. It's a really cool ship. For those of you that got one, and Gear, I think you got one. For those of you that got one, congratulations. I'm happy for you. I hope to be an owner in the future. But for those of us that didn't get one, don't worry. You're going to have a shit ton of opportunities. Like a ton.
There'll be many chances.
Many chances. Many chances. Trust me. And I think, and you might can correct me on this, Gear, because I think you're more knowledgeable with this than me because of your experience with hull limited ships. But I could see as the years go by that the wave size increases, the number of hulls sold. I can see that.
I was just going to say,
yeah,
everyone, you will see a time where the war bond allocations, the war bond sales for this ship go unfulfilled for days, right? War bond ships remain available for days, and the credit ones get much more reasonable to acquire, right? It always happens.
Yeah.
And so, and whether or not the allocations increase depends upon how big they were now, right? I have my suspicions anywhere between credit being 10 Odins per wave up to 25. I honestly think that's the high estimate.
Yeah.
Per one of these waves. And
for
then
credit,
yeah, war bond being anything from 100 to, which I think is close to 200, which I don't think there were that many available per wave.
Yeah.
And if they were on the lower end, then I think they're definitely going to increase as the waves go on in the final years.
Yeah.
If they were on the higher end, I think they may maintain for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Right? If they were 200 a wave, I think it's going to stay about there.
Yeah. I think too, this game has always had a built of that. I can't talk tonight, everyone. Sorry, it's been a long day. This game has always had a bunch of that FOMO stuff built in, where that fear of missing out. You don't get the wave. But I see this as someone who, for example, I bring up the Kraken a lot. You all know I'm a big Kraken fan. Obviously, people reach out to me about the Kraken, especially when they're trying to get it for their waves. They're like, "Graham, I tried to get it. And there's some people that I've heard for 2 years now can't get it. And I just keep telling them, keep trying. That's all you can do. That's all you can do is keep trying. Okay. You will eventually snag one. Eventually the luster wears off, and you just have to remember, and I do this with stuff I'm targeting for this game too. And I wish we didn't have to play this, but I do this too, where, starting last year at DefenseCon, so last DefenseCon, which was Invictus. Remember, they didn't have a DefenseCon last year. But if you remember, what did they say? They said that Defense Con was not happening this year, but was going to be back next year, bigger and better than ever. Remember when they said that? And everyone, myself, info runners, many other ship focused creators were talking about, oh, see here the Ironclad next year. Ironclad's Defense Con, right? We ended up being right. Ironclads came out, but when we had that show, remember when they did that Ironclad is rad ISC, Ben Curtis said, or sorry, John Cruz said that the Ironclad makes the Kraken easier, and they sort of probed that. Jared even said, "Does that hint towards anything?" John Cruz said, "No, it doesn't hint towards anything, but it does make the Kraken easier." Well, remember, CIG plans ships out a year and a half ahead of time. Okay, what ships, they're already working on what ships are going to be coming out in 2027. Okay, that was even mentioned. But what that essentially means, when all that was going on, I was saying to myself, okay, it's time. I need to, now my Kraken wasn't in buybacks, but had it been in buybacks, I would have got it out of buybacks immediately. If you are an owner of a hull limited ship, either in buybacks or in your hangar, or if you're a prospective of one, you kind of got to do a little bit of that reading the tea leaves thing. All right. So one of the ships I melted to try to get my Odin for credit was the Javelin. Okay. Well, with not getting an Odin, what did I do? I used one of my buyback tokens and got my Javelin back out of buybacks. Why? Well, not expecting the Javelin this year. They've said as much. But what's the percentage chance it could come next year? I say 50-50. Until we hear more. I'm going to say 50-50, right? If I'm 50-50 chance that within 12 to 16 months or 12 to 18 months the Javelin can come, it's now time to get it out of buybacks. Don't risk it. Same thing with if you're trying to buy one of these ships, especially for credit. You need to be reading those tea leaves and try to get one of those credit waves before they announce it going into production or something like that. Because as soon as it goes into production, that ship now becomes incredibly difficult to get. The Kraken, I heard from people, hey, Gin and Tonic just reached a 30 stream streak. What would we do without his comments in chat? But I heard this year the Kraken was damn near as impossible to get as the Odin. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that's what people were telling me. Why?
Because I did notice.
Yeah, it's got a release date. Everywhere.
Yep, but they were much harder to get. The people were asking me about it. War Bond was they sold a lot quicker. Yeah. This year than I've seen them in the last 2 years.
$175 from Trent Self. Thank you very much, Trent. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's pretty much what I heard across the board. I even heard people buying Drake complete packs in more quantity than I've seen before. It's just going to be like that with the Kraken. Your last chance to get the Kraken at the concept price is probably IAE if they don't raise the price there. I don't think they will. Right?
Yeah, I don't think it'll go up this IAE.
Yeah, they'll save that big steady. Yeah, they'll save that ticket or that purchase price raise for the flight ready push. But this IAE is probably it, everyone, to get at the concept price.
And if you want privateer upgrade, get it out of the your concierge store now versus after release. I think after release it's going to be a lot more expensive.
Oh, you know what you just reminded me of, Gear? I have one in buybacks. I probably need to get that out of buybacks. Probably.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a lot more expensive than it is right now.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's $1,000. Yeah, that's a number I've got in my head.
Now, look, I'll go ahead and tell everyone. Going back to our friend the Odin here, should CIG have made it to where if your essay got accepted, then you would have had a hull reserved for an Odin that maybe you had 24 hours to purchase or not purchase, and then it went to the next person. Yes, they should have done that. Would that have been without controversy as well? No, it still would have been controversial. And let me tell you why. And I brought this up on a previous stream. Because first off, if they ran it how they ran it, that means that some people that just drew a picture of a part of the anatomy would have had a whole reserve for them and would have been able to purchase over someone who actually wrote an essay. But let's assume that CIG read all the essays. Let's just assume they did that. Okay. And they only chose the most thought out, well-represented essays, right? You're still left with the problem that it's a subjective way of entering. I might spill my guts out on my essay, and so may another person, and they get chosen and I don't. I'm still going to be pissed because someone at CIG didn't think my essay said the right things, but I thought it did. So still not a perfect way. A better way, I agree with you all there, a better way, 100% better way, but not perfect. I don't know what the perfect way of doing this would have been, but there are things CIG can improve upon. And I personally hope they do. I really hope they do, because I do feel bad for the people that really did put a lot into trying to get this ship this year, only to miss out. But I personally am not overly concerned about it, and I don't think you should be either. If you're one of those people that's still a little salty about DefenseCon because of this, you will have many opportunities. This was the first sale. Everyone was excited. This was the reveal. Okay. Later at IAE, next year, the year after that, this will get exceedingly easier to get, especially once CIG or players suddenly start realizing, oh, this isn't coming anytime soon. This is nowhere, because CIG was building up the Odin. They talked a lot about the Odin. They did that big, long 45-minute video about the Odin. Well, now what you're going to see is you're probably going to see CIG get quiet about the Odin and not talk about it anymore for a while, other than the sale events that come along, because they're going to be working on it slowly in the background via concept. And remember all those rooms they were talking about that still need to be concepted? I can almost promise you that all those are not going to get concepted. They're going to wait on some of those. Why concept it now when this ship won't go into production for years? And even when it does go back into production, it's going to have to go through concepting again, like every big ship, right? So just keep that in mind.
I think the only thing they're going to flesh out now are the things that they know they absolutely have to have in. So things that are known now, but where they're going to learn so many things from ship design, from how people use the ships. They're saving space in this thing so that it can be evolved as they learn in the game. So, which I think is a great idea. I mean, you've got the time. It's not going, you've got to release a whole bunch of other Anvil ships. You've got to build the kit. Why not just save space and build it into what you need it to be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Okay. We spent a lot of time on the Odin, but hey, it's a big topic. I know it's a big topic, so we're going to continue on here. Let's see. They talked about the paints. The paints were, I'll be honest with you. I think some of those paints you probably, I actually think all those paints you might be able to get again. I really do. We'll see. We'll see what CIG does. It may just be the 2 credit-based paints. Maybe those Warbond ones are all. But I do think when you get this in the future as a Warbond, I think you're going to get all 5 paints. I do think that's just part of the Warbond thing. Okay. A couple other things they brought up. Bear with me. I'm not going to talk about all the weird missions. There's a lot of weird questions asked at this event. Some of them were strange to me, but I guess these are just people talking. You got to remember, this wasn't a full-on Q&A section, the session of a Barca's. It was just people asking random questions. Someone asked, like, is the Ravens paint going to be changed? And stuff like that. There's just some interesting changes. They did say here, was there any update on suit lockers? It says if it didn't come in July for 4.9, then it will be there in September for 4.10. Teams are actively working on it. There is a strong push for a 4.9 delivery, but if it doesn't make it, it should realistically be out for 4.10. Very interesting. My thoughts on the suit locker thing. Okay, let's get into this. I think suit lockers should be a thing. I like the original idea that CIG pitched us about we're not going to be able to fly our ships in heavy armor, and we're going to need to put those in suit lockers and switch in and out of them. It's going to bring friction to the game now. It's going to bring an extra step you have to do, not only when you're prepping your ship, now you got to put a suit in there, but it's also going to add an extra step to landing, going into a bunker or going into EVA or whatever. You're going to have to now put that suit on. I think it's critical that CIG makes those suit lockers a one button pressed interaction that switches it. Right? Poofy, you can ask a question too on YouTube. Just put the word question, it will pick it up. So it's critical that's one button. It's critical that every ship that has a suit locker, the suit locker is made active. I do not think this is a situation where CIG puts out like 5 ships where the suit lockers work. This to me is one of those features that I hope they take the time they need with it. Don't rush it. Just take the time you need with it, get it working in all the ships it's supposed to be working, and then put it out and give us a reason that we need to use it. Remember, suit lockers is just the solve to another thing that is supposed to be coming, which is suits having advantages and disadvantages. Now, we've seen a little bit with that with those flight suits, those tailwind flight suits giving you some advantages, but we haven't seen any disadvantages to suits. For example, with the with the heavy armors and stuff being used in flight. Actually, everyone, hold on one second. I got to grab something. Be right back. Give me 20 seconds.
To live. To thrive. United in purpose.
So how's that working out for you? Thought so. Don't you just love it when your united governing body retreats back to Sol, leaving the good, hard-working folks out here to hold the line?
Areas. I think the one push button to switch out of your armor and then get ready to pilot the ship is a mechanism to make it easy, make it something acceptable, versus something laborious. Because if it becomes something just time consuming and everybody hates it, now we've got a part of a game loop that everybody hates, and that's not going to end well.
Yeah. Real quick, Aaron Boy, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Do appreciate that support. Quinn says, great, Drake propaganda. Hey, look, you come here, you're getting some Drake propaganda. That's just how it works. Yeah, I mean, I really hope the suit locker thing doesn't turn into engineering all over again, where CIG puts it in. There's an initial harsh reaction to it because of how it affects the game, and from people that maybe weren't fully brought up to speed on the plan that always existed with that. And, then they dial the suit locker thing back, and it just essentially becomes another feature that has no real gameplay impact. I'm a little nervous about it. Ever since the, I think it was what Torsten said about engineering then, and them pulling that back because they felt like it was too much of a disruption on the game. I've honestly been a little concerned. Hey, Serious Fun Games in chat. I have been a little bit concerned with some of these features that I've been interested in that are now going to not be fully realized because CIG is concerned about how they're going to affect the game. It is something I'm concerned about. I'll be totally honest with you. There was a vision, and obviously I do think CIG should alter the vision based off how the game progresses, right? But I'll just go to ships for a minute. We pay a lot of money for these ships. These ships have all these things in them that are supposed to be there and supposed to be a reason for why we bought it. You know, engineering gameplay, suit lockers, beds, habitation, you know, kitchens, all this stuff, all these parts of ships that take up space and stuff that are supposed to have an impact. I just hope those things don't get dumbed down for the sake of the game now. We're going to talk a little bit about this in a minute, actually. So I'm going to save the whole game now versus game 1.0 conversation for a minute because we're going to get that. $50 from Anonymous. Thank you very much. They did ask, the F8C is currently in-game and available on Pledge Store, while it was originally reserved for Concierge and Squadron 42 rewards. Since the F8A is in-game as an NPC ship, will it become a reward? And they would not answer. I think it's very possible the FAA becomes the squadron reward. The last we heard was that it was going to be a small, really cool ship. That's the last update I got about what the squadron reward ship is. I just heard it was a really cool small ship. Okay, so we'll see what that is. I think it would be cool if the... I think it would be really cool personally if the squadron reward, you got to choose. You could choose either the F8X or the the F8A from Squadron, or you could choose the F7X Mark II thing. Maybe you get to choose one of those, or you get both of them. I don't know. The ones that are tied directly to Squadron 42. I think those would be the cool ships to get for this. So, let me switch over to my other show notes, everyone. This show notes thing is not working properly. Bear with me. Bear with me, everybody. Okay. Let's go to, so that's a suit locker conversation. Another thing they talked about was 2027 ship schedule. And they said that some of the sources there said that a 2027 ship schedule is being worked on, and that a CIG staff member is going to push for the 600i series rework. Oof. What a dangerous thing to say at a Bar Citizen event. I hope that is a very kind of cheeky way of saying it's already been decided. It sounds very like maybe, maybe not, you know what I mean, type of comment. CIG knows these comments come out of Bar Citizens and go out to the wider world. So it really puts the ship team in a place where it puts them in a place where now if they don't do the 600i series rework next year, then it looks like they sort of didn't follow through on something that was said. And the way they said it's weird. They said a CIG staff member is going to push for the 600i series rework. I don't know what that means. Did they already push for it? Has it been approved? I don't know. Obviously, the ship schedules are decided on by a host of people. You know, I'm sure Chris Roberts has something to say about it, Rich Tyrer, John Crew, other people involved, you know, in that decision. But possibly. Yeah, I don't know. Just a dangerous thing to bring up and say. I do hope that the 600i rework happens. How likely do I think it is for next year? I think it's... I still think it's kind of firmly in the 50-50 camp. The 600i works as much as it needs to work for the moment. It's a touring, and then there's an exploration version. Those gameplay loops aren't in the game in any meaningful way right now anyway. The ship is, for all intents and purposes, doesn't have its gameplay role. I mean, I guess you could tour in it. But so for them to push that ship up in the, you know, the pipeline, I personally would hope that some elements of its gameplay is coming, whether some touring, you know, passenger gameplay stuff is coming, which, or maybe, you know, something related to exploring. I don't think we'll get the full, I don't think the exploring gameplay loop's going to come on in one big chunk, by the way. I think we're going to get just parts and pieces of it. But I don't know. What do you think here? I mean, I think it's just a weird thing for them to say at a Bar Citizen without it being sort of official. know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd hope that there would be some big part of exploration or touring gameplay, like the scanning comes online, something that would drive a reason that the rework would happen. So I think it's not going to happen until there is there's a real physical reason, like physical in the game, like, oh, we need room inside the 600i to put these new widgets that we have come up with.
Yeah.
And this new scanning deck.
Yeah.
So that's when I think it'll happen, is when they've got those built, then you have to plug them in.
Well, they also said, and I believe it was sort of in the same kind of bit of dialogue. They said that another ship is currently being considered by the CIG staff for a rework in 2027. It's reportedly not the Reclaimer or the Connie series. Let me speak on that. A couple things. Let's address the first two things. The Connie. I'm not 100% sure. I do think the Connies are going to get a rework at some point, but they are very effective ships now. So I don't see that needing to be like a pressing neat thing they need to do right away. I'm sure we'd all like it, but I don't think it's like a pressing need. The funny thing with the Connie is I can actually see a Mark II variant making more sense than them like putting just doing the rework. I could see a rework, obviously, just to bring the current one up to full gold standard. But yeah, I don't know. $100 from Tho, appreciate that, and $75 from Pac-Man61. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate that. But
yeah, kind of like you're getting at, Grim, there. The Connie rework is a weird one. It's everyone's talking about it, and we all kind of nod our head and agree. But there's no real reason for it other than we look at it and go, wow, that's really early game design. And that's the only reason. It works. It does what it needs to do. So the only reason to redesign it is just, its looks and some of how the things are fitting together. So I think its need to do a redesign is far less than some of the others.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things they obviously said, obviously not the Reclaimer. I'm a little sad to hear about that, because I do think the Reclaimer actually does need to be front loaded. Out of all the ships that I think needs its rework, the Reclaimer is at the top of my list, 100%. So I personally hope that is pushed up, because if they're not even going to get to that till after 2027, I worry. My concern there too is that it becomes easier for them to just do a bigger reclaim or a different salvage capital ship, right? Turn Down the AC says they don't want to do the Kramer before drones. Yeah, that may be a possibility, and I could see that being the argument that makes the most sense to me. Maybe when they do that, that rework on the Reclaimer, maybe that's when we get its like little snub ship that it's supposed to have and all that crap. I did melt my Reclaimer, but I want the Reclaimer to be good. I do really enjoy that ship. So I don't know. I was hoping that was being front loaded a little bit, but maybe not. But other options could be Starfarer, the Freelancer, the Caterpillar, maybe even the Carrack. Could be the Reliant series, could be the Mustang series. There's a lot of ships that are need to be reworked. I don't know. Gear, you have any thoughts on which it could be?
I don't. I'm really kind of up in the air. Yeah, I've got no dog in the hunt here.
Yeah. I mean, out of all those, I guess I'm probably leaning towards a Freelancer rework. You know what I mean? I think MISC, their art style's getting so like refined and stuff now with some of these newer ships that I could see a fresh pass on the Freelancers, really bringing those into a nice place, a really nice. I'd see them being pretty popular as well.
Not a functionality, just more of a, hey, this has been really refined. If they did a pass, it would
quality of
last
life changes,
through
yeah.
the game release. Yeah.
Yeah, few quality of life changes.
I could see
In
that.
terms of the ship that needs the update the most, I would probably say the Mustang series. And specifically, not because it's like broken or anything. It's a
Or
starter.
ugly.
But it is a starter ship from a manufacturer, and the starter ship, if we're getting, as they head more towards 1.0, and you get the squadron people come over and they're looking at different starter packages. I do think the starter packages all need to be in tip-top shape before we get there. So personally, yeah, I think the Mustang series should be focused on. But again, all those ships on that list I think need to be addressed. What do I think the most likely one is? The Caterpillar. That's the one I feel like is the most likely. Only because 2027 is going to be another year of Drake. Well, actually, I think the Ironclad sort of started it. We kind of went through a previous year of Drake. I think we're about to go through another one because the work that's been done on the Ironclad, which has been roundly praised in terms of just aesthetics. I know that it launched with a lot of bugs, but just aesthetics. All the work going into the Kraken, other Drake ships we're going to get. I could see the Caterpillar getting reworked rather quickly because I think a lot of the parts and pieces are there for it. And everyone, I'm not saying it should be reworked next year. I'm just saying it seems most likely to me. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it would be an interesting one. It'd be very interesting to see if they do tackle that, what changes to the actual ship that they make. Because, I think most people know that it's compartments and all the, I guess, compartmentality of the ship is going to change. It's not going to be the Lego building block panacea that everyone thought. So what they bite off there will be interesting.
And I agree with what some of you were saying. It would make a lot of sense for them to wait to do the Caterpillar rework when they have the modules ready to go. But I could easily see them reworking the Caterpillar cargo module variant next year. Again, because so much Drake work's going on. And I can already see CIG wanting to lean into the fun of landing a Caterpillar on a Kraken. But they could easily just launch it with the cargo modules essentially installed and the ship reworked. That could happen. And the other thing with the Caterpillar is not every part of the ship needs reworked, just certain parts of it. There's still a lot of people, I know Expat Brat really love the Caterpillar's like aesthetics. So I don't think it needs major stuff. It just needs some fixes and adjustments here and there. But it also, I don't think, would be terribly difficult for them to bust out a few additional modules for it. Medical module, you got your cargo module. I could see there being, perhaps, if we, maybe the refinery module, if we get refinery gameplay. Well, who knows? They haven't, remember what John Cruz said, they hadn't fully scoped out all the modules anyway for the Caterpillar. So
now and the modules and the Caterpillar are going to be interesting because of its huge effect on gameplay.
Yeah.
When all the ships are out there, they all have roles and functions, and you have different vendors, so that the look and feel, the aesthetics, and what it might do a little bit better is a little bit different. But then all of a sudden you introduce this Swiss Army knife, the gameplay around the Caterpillar, and if it has too many modules and too much cross functionality, that is really going to be interesting. I know they don't want to make it where the saying goes, oh, okay, you got a Caterpillar and then what else, right? As the obvious question for everyone who plays the game.
I would love to get another ISC at some point. Let's just devil's advocate for a minute. Let's just for the argument's sake, let's say the Ooh, Pitbull hanger module. That's a good idea, Rabbit. Let's say that the
I love the 4-module size 10 gun.
Yeah. Let's say that the Caterpillar is going to get its rework. Okay. Let's just say. I would love for CIG to do another ISC revisiting that and what those modules could look like and stuff. Because, and again, is it likely? I don't know. It's just that so much Drake work is going on, so much Drake work in that vein, sort of in that sort of industrial sort of type of aesthetic, you know, with the Ironclad, Kraken, Clipper. We're probably going to get some more. It just seems like it would be easy to bring the Caterpillar up to standard, right? $100 from Anonymous towards a Master of Industry pack. Thank you very much. Actually, we're going to talk about the Ironclad here, but let's pause for a second. Everyone, don't forget, we got raffles going tonight. These are all drawing tonight. This is it. This is the final St. Jude stream. This is it. It's all going to end tonight. The last remaining raffles, courtesy of GearCon, are being drawn tonight. Ironclad and Ironclad Assault. Yes, you will win both. $75 donation.
It's a package.
It's a package. The Polaris. Still one of the coolest ships. I own this ship, along with the Ironclads. Awesome. You want to own it too, trust me. Also courtesy of GearCon. And then the Masters of Industry pack. And if you're wondering if you get all those ships down there if you win, yes, you get the Pioneer, the Arastra, the Hull B, the Reclaimer, the Mole, the Vulture, the Golem, and the C2 Hercules. All good ships. There's no bad ones there. How cool is that, everyone? You have about an hour left, by the way, to get your tickets. About an hour. Because then I got to close them out and I got to start doing the work to get them prepped for these spins. $60 from Keep It Secret. And then, of course, the Scorpius physical model raffle. Make sure you get in on that, everyone. Do appreciate it. Here's the thing. This one's going to end a little bit sooner. You got about 10 more minutes to get in on this one. 10 more minutes to get on this one. $25 donation. I wish I had the price up there. $25 donation to get in on this one. This one is for the Pigeon Spaceport Scorpius model. I do not have a lot of tickets sold for this one. I have a decent amount, but not a lot. So your odds are good. Okay. And I was informed by Pigeon Spaceport that you're going to be able to choose your model, choose the paint you want for it. I think it comes in 3 different liveries. And then when you go to check out, you're going to enter in the code I give you, and it's going to make it free. Okay. So you get your choice of paint. So again, that one ends very soon. Gin and Tonic with a $25 donation. Let's go back to this. The Ironclad. There was discussion around the Ironclad and Ironclad Assault bridge being reworked slightly. I doubt that means what it sounds like it means, but essentially just being given the ability for the pilot or from the ship to be piloted from that position. Okay, so essentially it'd be something like the Carrack where there's that secondary bridge area. Maybe not with all the functionality of the standard bridge, but some functionality. It said that there was another source there, though, that was less certain. So this should be framed as likely but not final, and or take with a massive grain of salt. Okay, $25 from Keep It Secret. Thank you very much. What do I think on this? Mithras won with a $25 donation. You all are incredible. Thank you very much. I think we're going to get to 105,000 lifetime tonight, everyone. What does this mean? It means that the one sticking point about the Ironclad, that it could get pilot control from the bridge, could happen. Out of all the people I've talked to that did not purchase the Ironclad, one of, I would say, the top 2 reasons was that you could not pilot from the bridge. The other one being that it was Drake, which says a lot about that person. What I would say is I hope it gets the ability to be piloted from the bridge. I would be okay if it was a more limited pilot control, sort of like the Carrack, where you don't get the full. Is that still the way it is? Chat, let me know. The Carrack, when you fly it from that upper bridge position, it's sort of like a limited HUD display for that, right? Let me know if I'm wrong, because I know you don't have as many MFDs. Kula Fu with a $25 donation. Thank you very much. One second, everyone.
I actually hope they don't make this change.
Okay. Tell me why.
And they leave it just.
And I'll tell you why you're wrong, but tell me why.
Because of the other features of the Ironclad that make it so great. The guns, the loading and offloading, the flexibility you have there. The ship is so good. If they make this great as well, they're going to have to cut into some of those other features for gameplay balance. I would wish they don't, right? It won't happen day one, right? But it would happen month 2 when people start complaining, hey, my Hercules isn't as good as the Ironclad. What the heck? This isn't as good. This isn't as good. And when you look at it balance-wise, the Ironclad is great on so many different variables. It needs kind of a little bit of an Achilles heel in order to keep those things, those dials twisted as high up as they are. And I would rather have those higher up than have another bridge, an alternate place to fly from. That's my only reason. I don't think, I love the idea and all that, but I like the other features better.
I'm seeing some interesting stuff in chat. I see Vigilant Fox has agreed, kind of disappointed how quickly they gave in on this one. Here's how I look at this. I actually don't think they've given in on this one. I think they sincerely want it to be command module limited from a pilot perspective. The one argument, though, that I could see on why they may give bridge control to, pilot control to that command bridge, or ops bridge as they call it, is this, and it's pretty simple. This ship's entire ability to function depends on one piece of feature tech working consistently well, which it has not.
Good point.
There's a lot of ships where if something isn't working, the ship can still sometimes pretty much do its job, right? Maybe to a slightly limited capacity. This ship, though, if command module tech isn't working, this ship doesn't function. Because as we've seen, command module tech isn't just the connect and disconnect. It's control, the ability to quantum, the people falling through the ship, command modules disconnecting when it goes into quantum, all this stuff. I could see them doing something where, even if it's just for the time being, allowing limited bridge control or pilot control from the ops bridge being a way to not brick the ship when the command module tech is acting up. That could be for one of two reasons.
Point.
Yeah, and that could be for one of two reasons. The first reason is the solve for the current command module tech could be more difficult than we are thinking. And CIG can already maybe see they need to take their time with it. And it may be a little bit longer in the tooth before they get to a conclusion on that. So they want to do this as a half measure. Okay. The other reason could just be that they know with so much future core tech still to come online, from Maelstrom to dynamic server meshing, CIG is just like, oh God, we're going to have to revisit command module tech every time, and it's going to break this ship every time. You know what? If we just give the damn ops bridge the ability to fly the ship in a limited fashion, it'll soften the blow. That I could see being a valid reason for this decision.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, during development,
full pause.
If they said
full pause, wait a minute. Mufasa with a $2,500 donation towards a Master of Industry pack. Mufasa, salute to you, buddy.
Oh.
We've had 2 donations now over $2,000 today. How crazy is that? Everyone give Mufasa an 07. Appreciate that massive donation. Thank you very much, Mufasa. A legend. Mufasa has donated multiple times in the $2,000 range. But yeah, that is crazy. Thank you very much, Mufasa. I do appreciate it, buddy. Legendary. Thank you very much. That's incredible. Mufasa always showing up. Back to the Ironclad, though.
What I was saying, I that would make a ton of sense if during development and they were like, hey, this is just it's bricking the ship too often. Let's make this functional in a limited fashion so that you can still use the ship. I could see that I could see them doing that totally during development.
Yeah. To me, it's once again, Mufasa, thank you very much, buddy. It's incredible. I look at this as one of those things that just kind of makes sense, right? Yeah, I owe a bean. I'm going to do a bean. It's one of those things that just makes sense. I think it should get it. I'm okay with it being a limited pilot ability to, like, for example, maybe it is just for SCM and doesn't work for nav, but I still think that would be problematic because I think the reason for this is related to concerns about command module feature tech needing more maturity over the next few months, and they may just want to make sure this ship remains usable. So it's just something to consider. Millet C, thank you for a $100 donation, $25 donation for Disowned. Everyone, that Pigeon Spaceport raffle will be ending soon, so get in on that. Ending probably in the next couple minutes. Okay, real quick. $60. The cabs are here. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm going through my show notes, everyone. Bear with me. I'm going to answer a few questions here. There's more stuff to talk about, but we're going to answer a few questions here. 1 second here. Okay. Let's do a few questions. We'll pull up some ship commercials while we wait. How about that? Here we go. First questions from Chris Kolnick. Says, question, before we get too deep in the topics, what are the odds, Krim? I don't have the context, and obviously we went way too deep in the context, or into the topic. Sorry about that. I apologize. Kiyo Kitsune with a $60 donation. Thank you very much. Actually, wait a minute. What am I doing? We have to pause on the questions because I owe you all beans. I forgot. Here we go. Bean Boozled. Thank you very much, everyone. Let me get the beans ready here. Oh, Lord. I did 3. Oh, God. I pulled 3 out in one go. That is not good. That is not good at all. And they're all questionable colors. No, they're all questionable. Let me see if I can even hold these. There you go. Those are the ones I got. We got one.
One looks like a double.
No, they're all different colors. One is definitely top banana or wet dog. One is definitely, stink bug or toasted marshmallow. And the other one is definitely strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish. None of these flavors are going to mix well. This is going to be bad. Sorry. Socially, I'll get that for you in a few. This is gonna be bad. There's no way this is going good for me. 3 at a time. I love you all. Crazy donations tonight. Up to 107. We might. Who knows where we're gonna get by the end of tonight? We're already raised about almost what? 7,000, 8,000, almost.
No, over 8,000.
8,000, almost 8,000 tonight. Here we go, everyone. I'm doing them all at the same time. God.
Oh, wet dog.
I don't know what flavors are mixing here. It doesn't go down good. Whatever the flavors are, I definitely got strawberry banana smoothie. So that strawberry banana smoothie is mixing with other wet dogs or other what other flavors are in it? Or stink bug.
So far you spilled your strawberry banana smoothie on the wet dog.
Yeah.
And licked it off his fur.
Yeah, this is real bad. This is real bad. I'm going to have to suffer through this one while we do some questions. I love y'all, though. Okay. Let me switch back over to something here. Thank you for the follows, by the way. Sergeant Perry with some hydrates. Appreciate that. Unfortunately, I can't hydrate this one away. It's a big mound of jelly beans in my mouth. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try for you all. Okay. Questions while I eat these. VG, our buddy VG says, what do you think of this year's pace of ship releases? By end of June, 17 new ships will be out for 2026 compared to 24 for 2025 in total. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, we're on pace to get more ships this year. I think they said they were targeting 27 this year. And I definitely think we're going to hit that. You know what I mean? I definitely think we're going to hit that without a problem, because during that, I know we're not getting CitizenCon this year, but we could get something in lieu of that. But around that time period, October, maybe it's not CitizenCon, but maybe they do some sort of like Star Citizen anniversary or little promotion where a new ship comes or whatever. And then obviously IAE, those two alone are going to bring probably on the order of, I would say minimum 5 ships, possibly more, into the game. All right. So there may be, I can't swallow this. Oh my God. Takayako, I got to get this. Taco Yakyono, well, God, I hope I said that right. $100 donation, thank you very much. And the Grand Nismo with a $25 donation. I'm trying to swallow this is hard. Yeah, they're putting out an absolutely incredible amount of ships this year. And we're on pace for, like I said, the summer. Yeah, Taco, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh man, that was rough. So it's going to be an exciting summer. We have a number of ships still to come just for the summer alone. I know everyone's really excited for the new Gray's Market ship, the Stingray, the Gatek Raylan, et cetera, et cetera. So lots of great stuff to look forward to in the Galaxy later this year, et cetera. Go ahead.
Hey, Graham, on that, we've got the names of some, great new ships. In addition to that, how many gosh, I forgot the name, versions, how many, what is it that they're making? They make the alternate versions. It's, I forgot the name.
For what now?
The ships, when they iterate on the ship, they make it slightly different. Yeah, the variant. How many variants do you think, in addition to those new ships, how many variants do you think the rest of the year?
That's a good question. That is a good question.
With the events, I'm thinking 4 to 6.
I was going to say, I was going to say 4. Part of me wonders if we could get a variant to a Drake ship, just again, because Drake's under heavy development. I partially wonder if we're going to get a variant to, well, it is tricky because one thing I do see refinery gameplay coming online later this year, and I think we're going to get refinery ships. So we could be a little bit lighter on variants than we think if new gameplay is coming on board. You know what I mean? Because then that means that they can bring in some of those ships that they've had ready to go, that, ships like obviously the Galaxy is going to have a refinery module, the Misk Expanse, which I'm all but convinced is coming this year, maybe at the end of the year at IAE or something. But, it's possible. Maybe it's only like 3 variants for the remainder of the year.
Yes, I think they might slip in a couple variants on already established gameplay because they want to flesh out a line, and they still want to beef up the total number of ships, coming to market this year.
Yeah.
And so that's where I thought there were some easy wins for them. Like if they didn't have completely new ship, completely new gameplay to release, that they would variant on existing gameplay into current lines.
Yeah,
and release it at IAE. Sneak in like 2 or 3 of them. Like, hey, and here's Argo's introduction into medical gameplay. I don't know.
Well, look, one thing I would love to happen is it's been a year focused on crafting so far from a gameplay loop standpoint, and blueprints have been a major thing people have been trying to do. I really hope that CIG gets the crafting machines and ships working, right? Which we heard the feature tech they need to do that, which I think they're going to solve. And that could see the Consolidated Outland Forge coming into the game. I know that there's some elements of the Forge. I believe it's got resource extracting legs, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but they don't have to bring it on with every bit of its gameplay. If it's a crafting ship and it has a working crafting station on it, then they would release it, I think. But I think between crafting and refinery gameplay, beefing those two up with new ships, I mean, I think that combined with other stuff we've seen, I think there could be several opportunities to bring in ships that plug into those two gameplay loops alone. You know what I mean? Vera says hi with a $125 donation. Vera, thank you very much. Chris Kolnick, go ahead.
One little aside, where you're talking about if you can stop the gameplay that's currently going. When you go back and you hear, and this is why there's been a little bit of a question in my mind about the whole changing out of your armor when you're going to fly. As you look at all these guys, they're in armor, they're in whatever outfit they're wearing, and there is no transition. They go into their seats with whatever they're wearing. And I noticed they've done that in a lot of gameplay, that there is none of the that change. Oh, you're not gonna, Chris's idea, you're not gonna sit and pilot in your armor. No, I think you might.
Well, it just reinforces that thing where it's like, if those are still supposed to come into the game, if those sort of gameplay elements are come in, they're going to disrupt things, because people are not going to be sort of accepting and planning for those. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we'll see how disrupted they are.
So, and thinking as a military person, if I had equipment like this, and I was going into any kind of a situation where I might be put into, a situation where I needed it.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be on my person. I'd be wearing it. There's just absolutely no question.
Yeah, and what they need to do is make a really good reason why you would wear specific armors in certain situations, and it's got to be enough of a reason that you want to bring multiples. So, for example, if the flight suits are that much better, then you'll want to wear those when you're piloting. Right.
Yeah, but you need it in order to survive above 7 Gs.
Right, but if you know you're going to do,
then I got to put it on.
Right, but if you know you're going to do some, for example, if you know you're going to do some EVAing, then bring an EVA focused suit. I'm sure we're going to have something
with
like
a lot of thrusters. I want something with oxygen.
Right,
that's going to suit me really well for that situation. Right, there's got to be big reasons, though, to really drive big drivers in order to get me into that outfit.
Exactly. And if it's enough of a reason, you will want to bring both, because you will want that flexibility. You know what I mean? You will want it. Real quick, everyone, I'm going to do a couple more questions. Actually, nope. Sorry. I deactivated the Scorpius model because we need to do that one. Let me get this ready. This is going to be we're going to do one of our raffles, everyone. It's time to do one of our raffles. Okay. It's time to do one of those. We're going to do one of the raffles, and then we're going to do one of the giveaways. Okay. One of the raffles, one of the giveaways, You all have been very patient. You've been donating like crazy. I appreciate it. Yes, the Scorpius physical model raffle is closed. If you're wondering how many entries, wait, about 20 entries. So you got 1 in 20 chance of winning this bad boy if you put in a ticket for it. It's pretty good odds, people. Pretty good odds. Okay. Shall we get to our first raffle for the evening? I hope so. I'm going to grab that.
Cody, a couple of people have asked me, like in whispers. I don't enter any of these raffles, folks, for obvious reasons. I don't enter my own. Yep. And then the other ones that Grim does, I don't enter those just because if I might win, I do not want the image of impropriety that I'm getting any kind of preference or anything. So I don't enter any of them. Several people have picked me and asked.
And remember, all the money donated that you all are donating goes from Tiltify to St. Jude. Starjump doesn't have any ability to access it. It doesn't come to us, so you can donate in confidence as well.
I don't get any partial payment for these ships. I'm donating all of them.
It really wouldn't make a lot of sense for you to donate towards your own ships. At that point, it's just a donation.
Yeah, St. Jude. Just give it right to St. Jude.
But yes. Here we go, everyone. This is for the Scorpius model. I've got all the names in here. Good luck to all of you. Okay, got all the names that bought a Scorpius ticket according to the Tiltify Excel document that they export for me. Hellstern with a $100 donation. Thank you very much.
That wheel.
Here we go, everyone. Going to spin in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good luck. This is for a Scorpius model. Rough Gaming with a $100 donation. Oh my God. Gin and Tonic got robbed. Gin and Tonic got robbed. Joy Pop.
Joy Pop, though.
Joy Pop with the win. Joy Pop with the win. Joy Pop, I don't know if you are watching, but if you are, congratulations. Salute to you. For those of you, when I do get my review copy in of the Pigeon Spaceport model, I'll do a giveaway of that one as well. But congratulations, Joy Pop. You just edged out Gin and Tonic, who I thought was about to nail it. There's Gin and Tonic with the rage. Arrgh. But awesome job on donating towards this one, everyone. That is amazing. They are great partners, and huge shout out to them for sponsoring this. I really implore all of you to go over to their website. You can use my affiliate link, use the code STARJUMP, go over there and check it out, pigeonspaceport.com. And again, use the code STARJUMP. Okay, they are great people, great contacts. If you've ever been to a Bar Citizen and seen like the big Port Olisar or the Retribution or anything like that, they're the ones that built that. So really, really cool. Okay, there we go. There's our first raffle. We got it done, everybody. We got it done. I'm excited. We're going to do a giveaway here shortly. We're going to do some of our giveaways. Got Starjump merch store. You got a little bit longer to get in on that. If you want to enter, all you got to do, if you're over on YouTube, is go to the link pinned to chat. Okay. Thank you for that subscription, Takoya Kayono. Hopefully I said that right. It's a mouthful for Grim. But I do appreciate you being with us, buddy. But yes, if you're over on YouTube, go to the link pinned to Kayono. Okay, there he goes. He's helping me out. If you're on YouTube, link pinned to chat. Leave a comment on that video. That is my new player guide video. Please get your people to use my referral code. I do appreciate it. But leave a comment on that video. It can be hi, hello, how are you, whatever. We're going to pull a random comment from there. And then I am going to pull a random winner from Stream Elements. Each person will win a piece of merch store item. Okay, you'll be able to choose any item off the Starjump merch store. Okay, so there'll be a winner from the YouTube side, winner from the Twitch side. If you're wondering if you can enter both, yes, you can, because there's no way I can prevent it. So yes, you can. All right.
And I know we've been hyping up the items that Grim has up for raffle. There is also one other ship, one other donation for me that is remaining up for raffle as well, and that is over from Dad Bod Bard's channel, and that is a Perseus. You will see it on the Tiltify link. So he has a Perseus that is available as well, and feel
I'm
free.
not sure when the drawing is for that one, but is it tonight?
Yep, that one should be tonight. Not, I believe so.
Okay. Cool.
I think it says on that drawing, if you find it on the Tiltify link. So Perseus is available.
Okay, cool. There you go. All right, we're going to do the rest of the raffles here in just a little bit, everyone. Don't forget, we got some really great raffles going on tonight. Master of Industry Pack, the Ironclad Dual Pack, the Polaris, all that good stuff. Let's get to a few more questions. Chris
Grexon, real quick. I've seen this question a couple of times. I thought we answered it. These ships that'll come to you, you can apply a CCU to them.
Yep.
They're not giftable. They're not movable once they come to your account.
Yeah.
But you can do whatever. You could, exchange them for store. The melt value, whatever the melt value is, realize that I've assembled them, so it's not, MSRP.
Yep.
But you can upgrade them or do whatever. They are absolutely full ships.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, I know Joy Pop, you are in chat, which is great. Thank you very much. I will be contacting winners via email. You do not have to reach out to me. I will reach out to you via email. For those wondering how to enter the raffles, all you got to do is scan the QR code to the far right of your screen, or you can follow this Tiltify link that's going to pop up in chat. Although I do think I need to paste that on the YouTube side of things because YouTube is weird. They won't let me do the restream thing. I'm posting that Tiltify link right there. If you want to get in on the raffles, I just paste that in YouTube. Go to that Tiltify link. You'll see a number of raffles there that you can enter. Select the raffle you want to enter, make your donation in the amount you see on the screen, and that will get you a ticket for one of these raffles that we will do later. Sergeant Perry says, do all ships come with an LTI? No, I don't think they all do. No.
All of
I'm not sure.
These remaining ones, yes, they do.
Ah, they do.
I will double. I think everything in the master pack. Let me look at my little notepad. I think one of them has 120 10-year.
Okay.
So all but one of Masters of Industry has LTI.
Cool. That's great. Awesome. Had a couple more donations. Aurora with a $200 donation and Rough Gaming with a $60 donation. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Here we go. More questions here. Chris, which one did I leave off on? Yeah, Chris Koenig says, question, will you do another play live at IAE Grim? No, I won't be doing another play live, but I have something else I'll be doing. Something else I'm working on. Charity related, more info on that soon. $40 from R2 Legend. Thank you very much. Norse Peak says, question, would you like to see something unique for the Odin, such as a jump tunnel generator for fleet unique to the Odin? So essentially asking about that special feature that we were hoping we were going to get with the Odin. And that's a great question. I think in my conversations, sorry, I don't know what that was. Someone yelled at my house. I think we were all hoping for a special feature. It's essentially just a big ship with big guns. I guess you could consider this size 12 laser beams. The size 12 laser beams could be considered a special feature, I guess. They're pilot controlled. I was hoping for something. I mean, when I heard someone mention that ability for the ship to sort of open transient jump points and stuff like that, I was like, oh man, that would be really, really cool. Ultimately, though, I was hoping the Odin would bring some level of command and control gameplay in that maybe is only accessible from space stations. CIG didn't mention anything like that, which was a little disappointing. Maybe it's too early to tell what that type of gameplay would be. But yeah, that was like the one disappointing thing with the Odin. But I think it will get some command and control thing for sure. I guess wish they would have expanded on that. Gear, I don't know if you have any thoughts as an Odin owner.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Spike here from chat. I thought it was going to have something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was going to be really different. Not OP, but my only thought right now is that front-mounted wacko laser. Maybe that's it. They haven't quite explained what those 12 beams, I think it is, quite do.
Yeah.
There's just a little bit where, they converge. And so what is it, a size, 40, I'll cut everything in half beam of death? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really thought it would have something else. I thought the big something else might be hiding in the giant hangar bay down below. But that didn't really pan out. They seem to have a purpose for that, holding Perseuses, which I think is cool. But, I thought it would be something else, something a bit more, or something different. Yeah. A bit more in the way of surprise, not necessarily power.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and again, I think there's still, I think that there's still plenty of time for them to suss what that is out, and I think ultimately something will happen there.
Plenty of room too.
Yeah, Northern Surge with a $100 donation, and Storvison with a $75 donation. Hogatha with a $100 donation. Thank you very much for your donations, everyone. We're up to $108,437 raised lifetime. And so far for the month of April and May, we were at $68,054. How incredible is that? That is wild. Way beyond my my initial expectations. So thank you very much, everyone. That's incredible.
Yeah, because we started below, the 59,442 mark. And I think we started just below 59,000 today. So we are at 9,000, almost approaching 10,000 for the evening.
That would be our single biggest fundraising night, and we've had some big ones during this last 2 months. You know what I mean? So yeah, that would be absolutely incredible. That'd be incredible. Norse
bigger
Peak
than our nights when we had 6,000 people. I think at one point.
Yep. Or no, how many did we have? We had up to 1,000 people, Twitch, right?
No, remember the one stream when we got added in? It was huge, big numbers. We were at 25,000, and then we had a raid of 1,000 people just on Twitch, and YouTube was there, and it was, the two numbers climbing. I forget exactly where we were, but I think we were over 5. I know we were over 5,000. That evening, we still didn't even hit this number for contribution. So that's the only reason I was raising it.
Yeah. It's been incredible. It's been really incredible. Altzil says we're in the 93-cent cover. Someone donated. It was an odd amount. I forget what was put there. So thank you very much. It made the numbers look even bigger, which is fun. So, Norse Peak says, question, would you like to see something unique for the... okay, sorry, I just answered that one. Dark Tiger says, there has been a message that a dev is pushing for the 600i rework. Seems misguided since both versions lack their intended gameplay. That was something I mentioned. Also mentioned pushing for another rework. If you agree, what ships... Well, we kind of went over that. Yeah, we went over that a little bit earlier. I think the Caterpillar is the one that's the most accessible for them to update. Because they just have so much in the hopper for it already. Let's see. Hopefully I said that right. Do we know what the Basher is based off of? Because it'd be really interesting to see a Gray's Market version of the Hammerhead. No, I think... let me see if I have an image of that. Let me see if I have an image of what some people think it is. I don't think I do. Market ships. Let's see. Stand by, everyone. I'm looking. There's sort of two ships that people think it could possibly be. I don't have them queued up, so sorry. I don't have great visuals for these, but I can give you a little bit of a of a hint. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Stand by. An image in new tab. Okay. Let's see if this works. That absolutely did not work. Bear with me, everyone. Why is this not working? Bear with me. Okay. Still not working. It's okay. We're going to do it this way. The first one is, actually, wait a minute. Maybe this will work. Let me try one other thing. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This worked. This worked. So there's sort of two ships we think that possibly could be the Basher. The first one is sort of this Aurora with these like cowlings on the side and the guns popped in there. I think this would be a weird one to do personally because the Aurora Mark Ones have sort of been sunsetted to some degree, and I don't know. I think it would be a weird thing. I don't know what you think here. I just think it'd be a weird selection for the new Gray's Market ship coming.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that one.
Yeah.
Somebody fix the numbers.
Yeah. Oh, we had some donations too. 175 from Rage One. Rage One, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate you. $75.07 from Rick Shark. Hopefully I said that right. Getting us off of that weird set. Oh, it's a battle now. Ohio Medic with $60 donation and Altzilla SC with a $10.07 donation. You all are crazy. Thank you very much. I think you're y'all are battling it out here. I like it. I like it. So again, one of them could be this ship. The other possibly could be this one, which we know is some sort of weird F8 Hornet Mustang variant thing. I don't know what this ship is. It could be this. Personally, I'm hoping
isn't it?
Well, it's possible. I hope we're going to get something all new. That's what I hope.
Because this one looks like, well, no, I guess I don't know exactly what this one, Beast, looks like it's from.
This is the same trailer, though, the same vertical slice that we saw, that we saw the Shiv in, if you remember. So this could be it. This definitely could be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think this one's from? F7?
I don't know. It's got elements of like F8, kind of F7, a little bit of Mustang in it. It's got a few things in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got those cowls on the side, but then from the back, it's like, what did Grays smack onto this thing?
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have to see. We don't exactly know. I personally hope that the Basher is something a little bit like all new, different, interesting, and I hope it comes sort of with the cosmetics right out the gate. I hope that's kind of its thing. Iron Thatcher with a $175 donation. Everyone, we are killing it. We're killing it. I think we've hit 10,000. Or no, wait a minute. We're almost there. We're almost.
Yeah, because we were at 59, like 58.9.
Yeah, I think we're at 58.9.
So we're $400 away from 10,000.
Yeah, that's amazing. Y'all are incredible.
Hey, Grim, one thing. Tell me what you think of this. When I first saw Grays being introduced, right, I was like, oh, cool, interesting. Kind of like a, much more Mad Max, but more importantly, they were, kind of cobbling together things. One of the biggest, this needs something cobbled together because it needs better or more options, was the command module. I kept on thinking and expecting.
Thank you, Anonymous.
To see Gray's versions of the Drake command module.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did you have the same kind of idea or thought?
I think so. I mean, I absolutely think it could be something with command. Well, that's another good question just in general. Is could we see another ship with command module tech? I would think so this year. If I was to guess, I would think it would be something like a Gray's Market ship. So it'd be exciting to see. Again, with the issues with the command module, let's hope that some of that stuff is smoothed out before this ship comes on board. I mean, we got that little bit of a rumor that the July and August ships have been switched, so maybe the Gray's Market ship's a little further out than we thought. Maybe that did ultimately have something to do with command module tech.
I mean, from a lore perspective, right? Gray's needs the clamp, the bracket, right?
Yeah.
And then they just grab chunks and computers from all the ships that they need, and that's totally Gray's world, right? And it's like, okay, I'm going to grab the command module from this F8, so I have great computers. I'm going to grab this, so I have great targeting components, and I'm going to grab this, and then they just slap it together. So from a lore perspective, from a gameplay perspective, it really seems to make sense that they would put together some things that are really customized and flexible or powerful. Lopsided, it looked like Quasimodo, but it really seemed like it would, like Grays would really kind of take off in making, real functional snowflakes for the command module.
Yeah.
So something I've been hoping for, or at least hope to see once the game even goes live. So years down the road here, I hope that's something that Grays and that company kind of fleshes out.
Yeah. Makes sense. Clear Shark with a $1.93 donation. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Clear Shark. Dad Bob Bard just rated with 5 viewers. I thought Dad Bob Bard was going to his normal time. I guess not. Dad Bob Bard, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it.
Hey.
Appreciate you.
Hey, Dad.
Let me see if I can get a shout out going. Stand by here.
Did you by chance draw?
Shout out Dad Bod Bard TV. There we go. Been shouted out. All right. Let me get back to questions here. Got a lot of questions. I got to get through some of these. I got to burn through some of these here because I got one more thing to talk about, everyone. VG says, do you think the Odin production will jump in front of the BMM, Crucible, and Endeavor or other older ships? That's a big question because there's a lot of older ships. I would say that absolutely not with the BMM. I think the BMM is going to go into production next year. Maybe even later this year, but really see production next year. Crucible, I think the Crucible will be in front of the Odin. Endeavor, I don't know about the Endeavor because the Endeavor relied on so much gameplay. But I think we could see an Endeavor rework from I could see the Endeavor concept being revealed, like the new concept for that being revealed before the Odin goes into production. I think the Odin is a way past 1.0 ship and like a long way off. So, but yeah, it's a good question. We'll see. I mean, I think the Odin, I think there's going to be a lot of those backlog ships in front of the Odin. VG also asked, question, do you think the Odin is CIG's take on Star Blazer's space battleship Yamato? Yeah, I'm sure there's some elements of that for sure. I think that, I think that CIG's devs, their ship designers, they have obviously references that they know and love. We've seen those come into other ships, whether it's the Scorpius or many, many other ships. So would it be natural for this to have some battleship Yamato influences? Yeah, 100%. I think that could absolutely be a thing. Eagle0013 says, question is, how long after 1.0 will it hit? You think I'm assuming you're talking about the Odin. How long after 1.0 will it hit? That's a good question. I think it's like maybe a year or year and a half after 1.0. That's going to be my estimate. Maybe 2 years after 1.0. Maybe that gives you an idea of how far I think 1.0 is. 5 years out, probably. And I think this is another 2 years past that, right? So, yeah, that's, I guess, what I'm thinking. 2 years after 1.0. I'm speculating wildly, by the way. I have zero inside information on this. And more importantly, I don't think CIG knows when this ship is going into development. Like, maybe they know it's a few years out, but I don't think John Crew has it like on some notepad somewhere that like, oh, this will be in development. This is going into development in 7 years or 6 years or 4 years or whatever. I don't think he prognosticates that far out in advance. Like I said earlier, CIG's planning that 2027 ship release schedule, So, all right.
Oh, totally they are.
Yeah. Coco Cookie says, question, will price increase before release for the Odin? Probably not before release, but when it goes flight ready, it will. I think the price is high enough at this point. They'll just keep it there throughout its concept phase for the next
I was wondering about that. I think because of the Founders Club, I think it's absolutely going to go up for the next sale. It will increase once and then stay that until it goes live.
It's possible.
But because of their mantra, Chris's mantra of this is the best time to buy it and then you'll never get this price again, I think they'll boost it once.
Yeah, I really hope they don't do that just from an optics perspective. I think that would be pretty bad optics in my opinion. So
I think
Coco Cookie
it's already
says,
been rough optics.
Yeah. Coco Cookie says, will the Odin be the biggest ship they sell? 7 years is a long time to build a bigger ship. Reference the Jav from 12 years ago. Do I think it's the biggest ship they will sell?
I hope so.
I don't know. When you're selling this, at that point, why not sell the cruisers? Why not sell the Bengal at that point? I get the reason why not, but the why not reason can be applied to the Odin. We know there's a cruiser mentioned in the thing, so I don't know.
I think the only reason they really needed to was because of the stretch goals during the crowdfunding. Right, this was the last ship that they got on the hook to deliver in the crowdfunding. So they didn't want to tackle that legal hurdle. So they made the ship available, made it for sale. But when we get to the other ships, cruiser, the Bengal, anything like that, they don't really have a driver other than, okay, we need money to run the game. And I'm hoping we don't ever run into that situation, that they have other avenues to keep funding keep the servers alive and things like that.
Yeah.
I would much prefer to see a subscription for this game than to see the ridiculous and rampant monetization of every toothpick and tchotchke and fuzzy dice and color scheme and paint in the game that you can imagine.
It's why it's critical
in favor of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's why it's critical for them to get Squadron out too. They need to show that they can release product. So, and again, Squadron does not have to be perfect. It just needs to be good. It just needs to be pretty darn good. So,
decently playable. People will forgive a couple of bugs. We get it.
Let's see here. Parker says, how disappointing is Odin with it lacking new gameplay ideas so far? Well, we talked about that. I think the Odin should have had some major command and control feature announced on par with like space stations. I don't think CIG knows what that gameplay is yet, though, so it's probably difficult for them to announce. But yeah, the Odin did lose a little bit of its luster when it didn't have like new gameplay associated with it. I will agree with that. Space Pumpkin Dave, $160 donation. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Salute to you. And again, everyone, thank you for the follows. You all have been incredible. We've fit 9,083 followers, which is crazy. Liberty Blade, Zigzaggin. I don't know if you're a Marilyn Manson fan. Reprox resubscribe with Prime. Thank you very much. Bionic Jammer with a subscribe. Thank you very much. Roll the J, Turbo Diesel, Bonvier. Thank you for the follows. Do appreciate it. Maverick Actual, Aaron Boy, Oryx, Agent Sticky, Tilrop. Thank you for those follows. Do appreciate it. Next question. Dark Tiger says, question, do you think the Javelin is still going to come out without weaponry standard, or whether they already said otherwise? They've said otherwise. It's going to come out with weaponry. I think we're going to get the full ship. It's going to have the dual quad 9 turrets on it and all that stuff. I think it's going to be fully outfitted. I think that was an early thing they sort of talked about, but we've moved way beyond that. So yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned. I wouldn't be too concerned with that. TSN 9 Toes. I hope the Texas Space Navy is doing well. I got some cool Texas Space Navy merch. I got my Texas Space Navy coffee mug. It's one of my favorite, and it inspired me to do my own coffee mugs for Starjump. Kraken Captain, get in on that, everybody. There's more coffee mugs over there than the Kraken Captain mugs. Says, do you think the Legionnaire is in Squadron 42 and hence will be released into Star Citizen after Squadron 42's release? No, I haven't heard anything about it being in Squadron 42. I think it's just they've been waiting on hacking gameplay. I think that's been the blocker. It wouldn't shock me if some of the ship has been worked on at this point, like the actual production model of the ship has been worked on at some point. That would not shock me at all. DNA says Jav release is really a question of Squadron 42 release. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, the Javelin, or the Squadron release is really the key, and then the Javelin obviously is that it would come out later. I do think the Javelin, as soon as it will release, is summer 2027. Like, I think that's the soonest it will release. I don't think it will release before the Kraken. I think it's more than likely late next year. I think they want to like really build it up. They did say, John Crew did say it would come after Squadron 42. So I think they are holding to that. I think it's a post-Squadron ship still. And I think even if Squadron 42 sticks to its 2026 release, like if that is still the case, I think the Javelin is still like later next year. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Okay, let's see. Next question is... sorry, everyone. I have a few work messages coming in. Poofy Kitten says, are questions accepted here on Twitch? They're accepted both places. Rocky Thompson says, question, do you think it will also work with outfits, normal clothing? He's talking about the suit lockers most likely, and I don't think so, but I would love if it did. Zephux says, question, bed logging in friendships to return in them. Listen, let me reread that. Bed logging in friendships to return to them. Thoughts? I hope that's the functionality we get. I do hope that's the functionality we get at some point. I really do. Ben Tower with a $220 donation. Thank you very much, Ben. Appreciate you. Everyone, we're $1,000 away from 70K race. Yes, good.
What functionality on that last one? Bed logging and...
Essentially saying bed logging just to be able to, if you bed log in your friendship, will allow you to return to it.
Gotcha. Okay.
We know that they're redoing how bed logging is going to work. Bunny Hearted, thank you for the follow. Liberties just told me to stretch. Thank you, Liberty. We don't know what that's going to look like. I actually do hope we get information on that at some point soon, simply because so much space is taken up in some of these ships by beds and habitation. I want to know what that space is that's taken up in these ships is for, right?
And it's such a critical part of how you're thinking about playing the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Darth Trader SC says, question, Starjump, what do you think? Oh, by the way, everyone, got about 15 more minutes on raffles. 15 more minutes on raffles. If you want to get in on that, now is the time. Don't wait. Okay? Do not wait. Go to the Tiltify or the QR code on the screen. Okay? Or you can go to the Tiltify links that I'm posting in chat. Okay? Because it takes me a while to do some prep stuff. Get in on it while you can. Okay? I'm also going to do the giveaways here in just a second for the Starjump merch. Okay? We're going to do a little bit of merch here. Okay, Darth Trader says, Starjump, what do you think about complete absence of manned anti-fighter turrets and the size 8 ballistics only covering the top hemisphere? Isn't it ridiculous for a battlecruiser regardless of whether you plan fight? Here's what I will say. I say it's probably too early to tell. The battlecruiser is just too early concept. We don't know how it's going to factor into every little situation. Ben Tile with a $220 donation. Maybe that one came in a minute ago. I think I called it out. I think the amount of PDCs, and remember what John Cruz said. He wants PDCs that have the ability to have their targeting set by you. So you can have them target fighters, torpedoes, missiles, whatever, and you can give it a hierarchy of that. I think this ship's going to, the battle cruiser, and also fighters are not going to be able to damage the battle cruiser, like at all. So it's not going to be an even issue. It's just going to fly right through them. It's going to be a complete non-issue for that ship. Okay. Let's pause the questions there, everybody. We're going to do our, we're going to get ready to do our Starjump merch store giveaway. Okay, our Starjump merch store giveaway. I got to pull up my apps for that. Okay, I'm going to pull up the apps for that. Let me get some windows set here. This is going to be, now if you win, you'll need to contact me on Discord, Starjump_Grim, and you will be able to choose a piece of Starjump merch. Okay, you'll be able to choose a piece of Starjump merch. Okay. Okay, just getting my windows ready here, everybody. Appreciate the patience. Okay, I think I'm good on that.
Did one of your cameras just zoom into your, like, the word star on your head? Or is that Mike? Oh, there we go. Now we're back.
No. No. Okay. It is May. Okay, let me switch over here. All right, everybody. It is May 31st. Let me go ahead and plug in the random YouTube comment picker thing. And we started at 6 o'clock p.m. Nope. There we go. PM. 6 p.m. on May 31st, the last day of Starjump's St. Jude Play Live campaign. Oh, TSN Nine Toes with $320 donation coming into the party. Thank you very much, TSN. That's very generous. Okay, we got our after date here. This is the video you were supposed to leave a comment on. I'm going to pull a random comment here. If you went on the YouTube side of things, you do need to contact me via Discord. Okay, you need to contact me via Discord. I'm actually going to take a screenshot for this so I remember what we're doing here. So you will need to contact me via Discord, Starjump_Grim. Ricardo, yes, I believe it does ship to Brazil. I got international shipping set up on stuff. So it's using drop shipping and shipping within those countries. So shipping to other countries and quick shipping. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and pick a random comment. This will be for the YouTube winner. We're going to go ahead and tell it to pick now, and something went wrong. Okay, that's okay. Let me refresh this really quick here. Obviously, it doesn't like me tonight, but we're going to solve that. Bear with me. Bear with me. Let's just refresh it here. Okay, we'll start over from
Good old
scratch.
Technology.
Good old technology. Let's put in our date. May 31st, 6 p.m. Okay. I think I got everything set. Okay. And let's go ahead and pick a random YouTube comment. Something still went wrong. Request failed with status code 503. All right, I got to figure out what's wrong there. I got to figure out what's wrong there. Bear with me. Let me clear the cache for this. Let's see here.
There doesn't have to be a date in that one field.
No. You shouldn't have to. Well, there was a date in that one field. Oh, that's the before date. No, you don't have to do that. Let me, oh, wait a minute. You know what? I think I know what the issue is. Stand by, everyone. Okay.
I love everyone's sense of humor. Oh, that person won twice.
Yes. Okay.
503.
It's still not working. It's still not working. Why is it not working? Let me try something else here.
On and off again. Yeah.
We will solve it. Don't worry, everybody. We will solve it. I still have internet, right? I'm streaming.
You're streaming.
Something should be working here. $69.69 from Bunny Hearted. I like it. Thank you very much. Thank you for that generosity. Okay, so we're going to try something else here.
Oh, we solidified at 69,422. So echoing the 59,442.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
We just passed our 10,000 for the day.
There we go.
Amazing, people.
10,000 in one day, everyone. How crazy is that? Okay, everyone, I'm trying to set this up. Bear with me. Bear with me. Why is this not working? If it doesn't work, I'm just going to have to do it the old school way and pick a random comment myself. It's not how I like to do it, but that's how we will do it. Let me try this one more time.
Funny-hearted with the innuendo-laced donation.
Yes, do appreciate it.
Everyone is.
Do appreciate it. You know what I think is happening here? I think there's an issue with, and the good thing is I think we can, I hope I can solve it. Okay, 5 p.m. Okay, we're going to try this again. If this doesn't work, everybody, and it always works, maybe their website's down. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to pull a random comment. Eagle says issue on their end. Yep, very, very, very possible. I'll just have to pull a random comment from the video, okay? And we'll have to do it the old school way. I won't pick anyone I know. Just to be fair. All right, everybody, picking a random comment. Let's see if it works. And nope, it don't work. Okay, we got to do it the different way. Okay, we're going to go over to Stream Elements. I will get that video ready up in here, and I will pull a comment randomly. I'm just going to tell y'all who it is. Don't like doing it this way, but I got to do it some way. Okay, I'm just going to scroll randomly. Okay, stand by. Okay, let me pull up. We'll pull this over. Okay, I'm just going to scroll wildly like this. I organized it by, I sorted by newest, okay? I'm just going to scroll randomly up and down and just going to kind of put wherever my mouse lands will be who it goes to, okay? This is about as good as I can get with it with the website down. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm just going to do it. And there we go. Scrolling. We'll go all the way to the top to keep the newest ones fair. We're scrolling and stop. Sir Barbeta, 23 minutes ago. Sir Barbeta, you got a merch store win. I do know Sir Barbeta. But as you see, I just randomly did it. That worked pretty good. That worked pretty good, actually. Sir Barbeta, congratulations. You'll be able to choose a piece of Starjump merch. So congratulations. All right. Contact me. That worked better than normal, Quinn said. Thank you. I am creative. Okay. Hopefully you got all your tickets in, everyone. Going to close the giveaway in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to draw a winner. Good luck, everyone. And the winner is 90s. Our boy 90s. Congratulations. Both of you won free items off the Starjump merch store. Get your Kraken mug. Get whatever you want. If you want to get to that merch store, it's very easy. It is, there it is, starjump.printify.me. Okay? Get in on that while you can. Okay, everyone, we have about another 5 minutes left on the main raffles, so get in on those while you can, because then I need to shut them down. Okay, I need to prep them for my pipeline. Okay, so get in on that while you can. Do appreciate that. All right, a couple more questions here. This one's from Broom 360. Do you think the Raylan will have pilot control guns? Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I did want to talk briefly about the Gattac Raylan supposedly coming next month, June. When's Alien Week? Do we have, it's usually the second week. Is it the second week? Yeah, something like that. Supposed to get the Gattac Raylan and another, possibly another Gattac ship from what they're saying. I do think it's going to be a Raylan variant. But we'll have to see what that looks like. We do know the cargo capacity has increased. I forget what it is up to now. Chat, remind me. Is it 540, 560, something like that? I kind of forget. But I am interested to see if anything else on the ship has changed based off the last holo model I looked at. It was 640 SEU. Thank you, Northern. Based off the last holo model I looked at, all the sizes were still pretty much the same, so not expecting any massive size changes to the ship. But it's still going to be a ship with a rather unique stature with just how it flies and how it's oriented. So do I think I will have pilot control guns? Yes, I think I'm going to have some pilot control guns. I'm not sure to what level. I think it might be the It's got the
size
two.
4s.
Yeah, there's 2 size 4 weapon. Oh, so it's 2 man turrets, and then it's got missile racks. So maybe the pilot controls the missiles. It's also possible they could add guns to this. Remember, this was an early concept, the information we're seeing here was the early concept information. This could have been updated. It would not shock me if this ship has gained a few pilot controlled guns. That would not shock me at all, actually. So yeah, I think it's possible. The Super Shoe says, question, how long do you think it should take for a suit to be changed after you click the suit locker button? Instantaneously. I think it should be right away. Yes, there could be some sort of animation doing the switch over, but I think people just need to play the game. So I'm okay with it being instant. Texas Horny Toad with a $235 donation. Everyone. Oh my God, $60 from Jay Cliff. Everyone, we are now past $110,000. Pretty sure we are. I think the lifetime
raise. Yep.
Yeah. If not, it'll update in a minute. With a total of $69,717 for the month of April and May. How crazy is that? That's nuts. Y'all are crazy.
Amazing.
Thank you very much, Jay Cliff and Texas Horny Toad. Appreciate you.
You know, the Gatchek, the Raylan, has also been probably in the world of CCUs, it's probably one of the most sought after and looked forward to price increases, because everyone known it's going to happen, and so many people have replanned or looked at their CCU chains, you know, trying to target and plan ahead for the Raylan price increase to save them some money in a CCU chain. So it's funny how much talk there is about the Raylan price increase and how will that affect their other CCUs and things.
Yeah. Loki says,
what's that? I was going to say the speculation is crazy.
Yeah. Yes, everyone, we're very close to 70,000 raised for April and May, which is incredible. Give yourselves a pat on the back for that. That is all y'all and GearCon for offering up so many amazing raffle ships. Low Key 2000 says, question, I think John Cruz stated the Kraken owners in the game would be able to take their ship to, say, Cousin Crows and convert it between the 2 variants. Is that still true? I think it'll still be true once the privateer once the privateer launches, which is not next year. They've already said that the Kraken's coming first. Privateer will come out probably once Marketplace gameplay comes in. I think that's going to be another year and a half, 2 years behind, personally. But I think that's still the plan. Dillman94 says, question, do you think CIG will go back and add suit lockers to ships like the Prowler utility? Yes, I think to some degree.
Yeah,
I think to some degree. I think they even said that recently, that some ships were going to get that pass and some suit lockers added. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've got they've always had places on walls where that look like a panel that could be a locker. Yeah. And I think that was intentionally done during design to allow retrofitting of things like this as they come into the game.
Yeah.
Easily, just plunk it down.
Vert 2552 says, question, not sure what's the whole discussion is about as I just arrived. I'll throw it out there. Was the chance that you think we will see the Arastra show up within 1 to 2 months in monthly report? I don't know. The Arastra is one of those ships I did expect to sort of get on the in production list by now.
Yeah. I was expecting to hear a little bit more dialogue about refining before we get some better dates.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I think the Arastra could be coming after the Galaxy, though. I think that could be the ship that they put into production on the RSI side of things after the Galaxy. I think that's very possible. Zifux 4794. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the good things, though, is I think when we get the Arastra, I really do think that the Reclaimer is not far behind.
And, I would agree with that. Oh,
no, I'm sorry. The Orion is not far behind. So I know I said the wrong name. the Orion.
Yeah, I think industrial at that scale though, and I would say this for the whole E and probably the whole D as well. I think what's needed for those is large and extra large base building, because that is going to be the thing that needs that level of resources. You know what I mean? So because of that, the Orion could be real far out. I don't know, but in the whole E as well. But I don't see us needing that level of stuff until, large and extra large bases are in. Someone asks, is the Galaxy Raffle already happened? So the Galaxy is going to be a giveaway, and I'm going to be starting that on my first non-St. Jude stream. Okay, not this stream. Everyone, final warning on raffles. You've got about 5 minutes. Like, I'm going to close them here. Actually, probably less than 5 minutes. So you got to get in there because it's going to take me a while to get these ready. Please get in on those while you can. Good odds on the Ironclad. Polaris has got a good number of tickets sold, actually. Master of Industry pack, a lot of tickets sold. Ironclad dual pack, you still got real good odds, everybody. Real good odds. You got about 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. And we'll start closing them down and prepping them. Okay. Here we go here. Zifix says, question, Paladin possible armor deflect buff? It doesn't sit right with me that it has the exact same stats as an Asgard, while the Connie got more than double the deflect ratio. I don't look into that stuff, Zifix, simply because I know it's going to change 50,000 times between now and 1.0. So I do kind of follow them, but I don't really know all that's going on there. I think all of this is moot until we get Maelstrom anyway. So I guess in summary, I would just say I don't think much about it, at least not yet. I will when we get to that stage, but not yet. Rabbit says, same question. No, I don't know the context of that one. Z-Dozer says, who in the right mind tasted the bad bean tastes? Who in the right mind tasted the bad bean tastes? I guess he's asking if people tasted it when I tasted it. I'm not sure. That would be some really meta stuff there. Vert says, question, what is the chance you think that we will see the Arash? Okay, that one is a duplicate. Vera says, hi, says, question, do you think the Sidness is still on the table, or do you think it has been entirely forgotten about? And you're talking about the Sidness mining drone or mining vehicle, whatever the hell it is. I just think it's a Squadron 42 thing, and we will see it once Squadron 42 comes out. I don't know if it's technically something we will own. You know what I mean? Devil Dog Games, or DevilDog.Games, sorry, came in with a $75 donation. Thank you very much. That is incredible. Thank you very much, everybody. Killing it on the donations tonight. Amazing. Zadozer then says, do you think CIG ever considered doing a torpedo module for the Ironclad Assault? And what would essentially replace the entire cargo room? Well, we got the vertical launchers, and I think that's about as much as we're going to get there in terms of torpedo. So no, I don't think they have ever considered that. Fallen One with a $75 donation. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping that they would sort of reconsider the Ironclad into more of a modular platform. Obviously, they didn't do that. I'm still very happy with the ship, but no, I don't think a torpedo variant was ever on the table, really. So, Poofy Kitten says, question, if you buy a Pioneer with 10 years insurance, and later its price goes above 1K, would LTI be given to all owners retroactively? Gear, that might be a question for you. What do you think?
Yeah. We really think so. Yes, everyone is betting on that. Even a dev theorized the same thing. So we think that's pretty much a guarantee. It's what they've done in the past.
Yeah, I mean, a price increase doesn't... I mean, they can very easily retroactively give everyone LTI on the ship. That's not like a big problem. I've heard some people say, oh, it won't go over $1,000 because then they'd have to do that. I don't think they give a damn. I think they'll give LTI out if the ship goes over 1,000. I think they'd rather the ship go over 1,000, they make more money, than not go over 1,000 just to keep LTI in the game, or LTI, or those people from getting LTI.
And that particular ship, I mean, everyone expects it to do exactly that, to go above 1,000, to get LTI. I mean, the Pioneers really, a lot of people have forecasted, and everyone thinks it's going to hit above 1,000. They've brought it up in I've seen comments from bar citizens and devs kind of going, they can't say anything for sure, but
real
it
quick,
is.
Let me interrupt you. Locked in with a $135 donation, which with all those others pushed us to $70,002.70 for April.
We were talking about, we would think we were going to hit 60.
Thank you, Lockton.
Today.
Yeah.
Didn't we? We were like, okay, think pretty sure we're going to hit 60. And then we just completely.
It's a wild night. It is a wild night. And everyone, big shout out to you, 07 to everybody. You have made this happen. That is incredible. I've got like 4 more questions and then the raffles will close. 4 more questions and the raffles will close, everyone.
And folks, get if you're interested in it, I threw the Ironclad dual pack in there kind of late, just as a, kind of as a thank you, kind of as I'll put another one out there because it was so well received. So if you're interested, dive in. It's a great ship, and there aren't very many of those sold. So your chances on that one are stellar.
Yep. And I have stopped the question about everyone. Sergeant Perry says, what are you going to add to your ship posters? Are you going to add your ship posters to your merch site? No, I can't. It's not allowed by CIG because it would be selling art of their IP. So no, won't be doing that. It's only giveaway only. They're okay with me doing giveaways on it. Altzilla says, question, where did the 93 cents come from? We answered that one. Wolf Blitzer says, question, have we gotten all the silhouettes figured out? Yes, we know all the silhouettes at this point. Auxilla, Forge, we're still missing. So yeah, we have those figured out. Jay Cliff says, question, will you go over the donation for St. Jude's raffle again? Which I did when I had that. $75 from Ruff Gaming. Thank you very much, Ruff. Appreciate you. Buddha Baka says, question, I've made this one earlier in the stream, but it was a bit over the subject. But any reasons as to why the Zeus MR is not in game yet? Yeah, we don't have bounty hunting. We don't have bounty hunting. When that comes in the game, you'll get the Zeus MR for sure. That'll probably be the first ship that comes with it, to be honest with you, if I had to guess. Maybe that and the Avenger, maybe. And the Hawk. Hawk, Avenger, Zeus MR. But the Zeus MR will be a nice new ship to launch alongside of it. So I think that'll happen. Last question for the night. Eagle0013 question. Starjump Bar Citizen when? I'm going to have a meeting with Shadowkin very soon and Nick at Night and start getting information on venues. The venue is the most difficult part, and it's going to cost a ton of money. And so I need to work with people who have connections so I can get better deals on that. Yeah, better deals. Okay. Music is Slave. Thank you for that $75 donation. Okay, everyone.
Hey, Grim.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to say, I've got a question. I'll address this question while you're working on the
Save it,
assembling.
Because I'll need some of that. Real quick, everyone. You have 30 seconds for donations now. 30 seconds. Now's the time. I got to end them at some point, unfortunately. You've all been amazing. I got to prep them for the draws. So get in on that. About another 20 seconds. It's been great, everybody. It's been amazing. It's been a lot of fun. It's been stressful. And by the way, if you asked a question I didn't get to it, the bot may have been turned off, or I didn't see your question. Because I think I got all of them.
Hit a couple of them.
Yeah. Because I think I got them all. Either way, that being said, it's been a lot of fun. The St. Jude Play Live, though, stuff is also stressful, especially when I'm trying to do just general conversation stuff as well. But it was a lot of fun. It was for a great cause, and it was good to do. Got a question from XQ. I'm going to answer that one. $75 from Anonymous, another $75 from Anonymous. Thank you very much. XQ says, Grim, which ship from Space Odyssey is the other Gattac ship inspired by? So, I saw that was like mentioned at the Bar Citizen event or whatever, that the other Gattac ship is sort of reminiscent of a 2001 ship. I don't know. Maybe it's the grabby hands thing. Maybe it's like a little pod that's in the shape of a star. It's got little grabby hands, like the little single person little spaceship drone thing they had in 2001. It could be that. It also could just be someone talking at the bar citizen that doesn't know 2001 Space Odyssey very well and is confusing it with another ship. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. 1 second, everyone.
Okay, we're closing. Last of the raffle.
Yeah, we're closing the raffles, everyone. Closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I do. Hopefully you got yours in, everyone. Appreciate it. Altzilla just did a donate right there at the finish line. Those are done. I am going to pull my reports for those. So stay. Okay, I'm going to need everyone to just stay patient as I get these ready. Awesome. But what was the question you had there?
Yeah, so prop, I see you asked a question about that Grim mentioned in a video, and it was about the Javelin being the largest player ownable ship.
Yeah,
that seems to have been a misstatement, and it carried for quite a while because we didn't hear about the battle cruiser. But the battle cruiser is the largest player ownable ship right now. We were hoping that CIG would have done something for Javelin owners. And those people who went out there and was like, I'm going to get this because I want the largest ship. And, we were hoping that they would do something like offer Javelin owners a CCU for the appropriate amount, dollar amount, but they didn't. So it's not so much that the Endeavor is going to have a modification because, of the comment made in the video. It's more that, no, the retcon that's happening is the Javelin is just not the largest player ownable ship anymore, even though that was said.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff has changed.
It's the Odin.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, a lot of this stuff has changed, and it's just sort of the way it is,
Yeah, and all I'm going to say is at this point, it's the Odin, because we've seen them change. Now, I'm not going to go out on a limb and say that's it, because 2 years from now, maybe it's the Retribution.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it could go a lot of different ways. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one because a lot of people, all we can really read into is like, okay, what did CIG say, 8 years ago, or this, that, and the other. But we know, especially over the last 2 years, we've seen them change things. So it's going to be what it is essentially. So, okay, everyone. Really quick here. Okay, going to get ready to do these.
And yeah. While Grim is working on that prop, you are absolutely correct. The Endeavor is still getting as large as, Grim was estimating. It's got so much gameplay it's got to fit in. We think we've been estimating. Everyone's been using little, tricks to. I think this might have to get this size. This might have to get that size. The Endeavor is going to be a massive ship. How massive? We don't know for sure, but I think, people's guesses are within 50 meters. Could it be even bigger? Yeah. Is it going to be much smaller? I doubt it.
Yeah, it could get bigger. I think that it depends on how they do the modular system. I mean, I think the one thing with the modular system is that the way the superstructure works, it could also make it to where they don't have to make it so damn big that it's just like crazy out of control in terms of size. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be that. It's just a design thing they have to solve. And from that perspective, I think I think they could keep the ship in that 300 to 350 meter range. Could it go much higher than that? Of course, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, all day. But we'll just have to see. I mean, here's what I will say. I do think the ship has been reconcepted or is going to be reconcepted soon. And reconcept, it might just mean some initial sketches, a few things like that. But I do think it's something that's going to happen pretty soon.
And Grim, the stream elements, comments about donating, go to this link and all that stuff. Is that, I don't know what that's like to change. If I could, I'd help you, but
no, you have to have it's an art thing. What needs to be changed on it?
It's commenting donate now. Here's the Tiltify link.
Oh yeah, I do need to turn that off. Let me turn that off really quick. Let me go into my stream elements. Thank you for that reminder. All right, let's see. Let me go into stream elements. Go to the old chat bot. It's been a good one, everyone. It's been a good one. Turning off the St. Jude stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of work for all of us, including myself. I'm giving out chips. We're doing a lot of verification. We're answering questions invariably that people have about this or that. And I will extend to people, when I contact you, I did it for the last Hammerhead owner, right? I'm a person, I'm making these ships. And so I reach out and say, hey, yeah, this is absolutely the right email. Here's this. I give you some hints and tips about receiving the gift with Star Citizen's system about that. But there are also sometimes opportunities where I say, hey, I haven't applied the last CCU, so do you want a blah and the CCU to get, like it was a Hammerhead. So I was like, hey, do you want a Carrack and the CCU from a Carrack to a Hammerhead? And I'll send you both, just as an opportunity. And so far, everyone has said, yeah, I'd love that. That'd be awesome, man. So if you do win one of these, and I do contact you, look for that. It is not me trying to swindle you or anything like that. You get the end ship, but sometimes you get some options there too. So, and again, thank you for all of this. And, along with Grim, I'm kind of happy. It's a big, deep breath. Okay, it's done. Thinking about next year now and what else, what else we can do. So.
All right, everyone, I'm getting stuff ready. It's going to be still a minute because
I'm just taking the time to thank everyone and answer any questions. Anybody have anything else out there?
Here's a question. What do we think this 2001 ship, Gattac ship, could be? That is a great question. I don't really know. I think it'll be industrial in nature. I can say that, everyone. Six, seven. Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be industrial in nature. That much I feel pretty confident about.
The sphere with grabby hands.
Yeah. Okay, we're very close, everyone. We're very close. Very close. I'm setting up all of them at the same time, which means that you all will not have to wait long to get all 3 raffles done.
Industry, even though it's a bunch of ships, it's just one draw.
Yeah.
So, and what is the order? How are you going to do them, Grim?
Well, let's see here. We're gonna do the Ironclad dual pack first.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Oh yeah, I think it kind of makes other than I think the order kind of makes sense if you with the Masters probably making sense as the final because it is by far the biggest.
Yep, I think so. And I'm almost done here, everyone. Almost done entering my last thing now.
And it is one of the few, folks, that I actually figured out the MSRP. It's $3,145 worth of ships.
Wow.
From the website.
That's crazy. 2, 3, 4.
And I am so glad that it had such a great reception. I mean, it was really just my idea. When they came out with the Captains of Industry, I was looking at that and I was kind of seeing how well it was received and people talking about it. And I'm like, you know what? I bet I can make, kind of ride this a little bit and make a one-up, a Masters of Industry and make it a raffle item in the raffle we're doing right now. And that was really my thought process around it. And then I looked at what I had and kind of went through and tried to grab a basic and an advanced in each one of the industry categories, and that's how I put it together. And then with the Pioneer big base builder as kind of the anchor, quote unquote, But that was my total thought process around it, and I'm glad people liked it and thought it was a good idea as well.
All right, it's time to get to it, everyone. Time to get to it. I'm ready. If you see your name up here twice, it is because you bought more than one ticket. Okay. Or if you see someone's name up here a bunch, if you see their name up here 20 times, because they bought 20 tickets. Okay. That's how it works. We don't hold back. All right. Switching over. Our first one is for the Ironclad Dual Pack. The Ironclad Dual Pack. I should have both Ironclads up there in the picture, but I don't because I didn't have a Dual Pack image. Is what it is. Sorry. The Ironclad Assault's going to be our ambassador for this one. So good luck. Again, remember, I will contact you via email, and it will take a number of days to get you verified, confirmed, make sure no shenanigans are going. So it's not you just get your ship tomorrow. It takes about 5 to 7 days. Okay. So, but been a lot of people who have won in chat already, and they can verify that these ships do go out. So, all right, everyone, here is our Ironclad Assault and Ironclad Dual Pack raffle entry people who've bought tickets. I can't talk tonight. I'm tired. I'm going to hit shuffle a few times and spinning in 5, 4, 3,
Good luck all.
2, 1. Good luck, everyone. This is for the Ironclad Dual Pack. It's Drake, so you're getting about the best ship in the game currently till the Kraken. Call sign Super. Call sign Super. Congratulations. Congratulations. You are the winner of the Ironclad Dual Pack. That's amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm going to get the next one set up now.
Call sign.
Yeah, let's see here. All right, now.
Are you here?
Are they here? Yeah, let's see if they're here. Are you here? Let me know if you're here. You don't have to be here, but if you are here, it makes it that much better. I'm getting the next one ready, by the way, everybody. Getting the next one ready.
Doesn't look like it. Do not have anything from them yet.
That's okay.
But
that is okay.
No
All
worries.
Right. The next one we are doing is for the RSI Polaris. Amazing torpedo gunboat.
The command ship for most people, many people.
Got a few more entries for this bad boy.
Yeah.
Got a few more entries for this bad boy. We're going to hit shuffle a few times. We got to hit shuffle a few times to mix it all up. All right, everyone. This one is for the massive RSI Polaris. Incredible ship. I love this one. Going to spin in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.
This is for the RSI Polaris. Courtesy of GearCon. Courtesy of GearCon. It's Trent Self. Trent Self made a number of donations. Trent Self, congratulations. I know Trent Self's watching. Trent, are you here? Chime in if you're here, Trent. Congratulations. You just won an RSI Polaris. Again, I'll be reaching out. And contacting you via email. Okay, via email. Let me go back to my one host view. Let me get the next random wheel of names set up here. It's going to take me a minute. Trent Self, I don't know if you're here, but that's amazing. Congratulations. I know Trent will be super happy. It's a hell of a ship to win. Hell of a ship to win, actually. Where is standby? Grabbing. Okay. Gotta get my next image right. Okay. Trent Self. Congratulations. That is epic. All right. Grabbing our next tickets here for the next and final raffle. Just checking to make sure everything is good.
And the big one.
Doing sort of a quality check here. Just doing a quick quality check, make sure everything is good, because I have to sort of account for everyone's extra tickets. And looking good.
This was also, I just kind of told the story of how I came up with it, but I was looking to do something else because the raffle was going so well, because that we had so many responses, and I had so many comments personally. So
yeah,
yeah, this one wasn't even there when we started, but
all right, that's
it
true.
grew.
That is true. Okay. Ooh, this one is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everyone, stand by here. Okay, for the final one, the Master of Industry pack, which comes with an absolutely stupid amount of ships. Stupid amount of ships. Matter of fact, do I have my? Let me go to my graphic here. The Master of Industries pack comes with all those ships: Hull B, the Arastra, Pioneer, Reclaimer, Mole, Vulture, Golem, C2 Hercules, all from GearCon. You hear his voice right now in chat. Generously providing all these ships, which is absolutely incredible. It is time to do the big one. We had a lot of entries. 1 second here. I had another work message come in. Way to delay.
So glad. Glad we had, the amount, the interest in this. So happy and so appreciative of all the entries.
It's been great, everyone. We've raised $70,304. That is crazy, especially for one night.
Given this, I'll probably try and do something like this again if I'm doing it next year. So
do we have a head count for this round? We have about 250, I think, 268 entries on the wheel, but there was some duplicate tickets. I think it's around more like 220, but there was people who bought a lot of extra tickets. So, all right, everybody, here we go. Appreciate you all. This has been one hell of a St. Jude Play Live. Before we spin, I want to thank GearCon. I want to thank Dad Bob Bard. I want to thank myself. I want to thank my wife for giving me the time to do and organize a lot of my content for this event.
Yes. Thank you, Grim, and thank you, Grim family.
Yes. All right, everyone, here we go. Spinning. Without further ado, in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I wish I was winning this one.
This one is something.
I'm nervous. Who's going to get it? I can't even see the names.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, snuck
Forsaken.
On Forsaken.
I know Forsaken. Well, I don't know them personally, but I know that I've seen them in chat. Forsaken, are you watching tonight? Forsaken, congratulations. I'm glad that a lot of our winners were regulars. That is incredible. Forsaken, you just walked home with a pioneer. A pioneer. You're going to be able to build space stations out there. How cool is that? That's incredible. We've had some absolutely amazing people donate. Mufasa, multiple $2,000 donation drops. Many of you with multiple donation drops in the hundreds and thousands of dollars. It's been unreal. I really can't tell you just how amazing it's been. It's been a really amazing ride. I'm somewhat glad it's over. I get to relax a little bit now. Aaron Boyd cheered 500 bits 4 minutes ago. Thank you very much, Aaron Boyd. It's just been incredible. So thank you very much, everyone. Gary, did you have any final thoughts on this? You offered up all the ships. Feel free while I get one last thing in order.
I just, my sincere thanks. I could get this money, and I do donate to St. Jude, but, this was, I'm so happy that it turned out to be a great way to, give enjoyment and, some surprise wins to people through this raffle, but it was a way for me to donate and, to St. Jude, but kind of through this effort. And I'm really glad that I've done it in years past, and that it continues to be something that is, really this awesome, and kind of an effective way to multiply, if you will, or kind of increase the impact of my donation. So thank you all for being a part of this, and kind of watching the streams, building the hype, and contributing, and whether or not you've donated, building the hype and the interest. These have been some of Grimm's biggest streams, and that kind of attention gets other people, and then when other people look at it, they're like, oh my gosh, $5 for a chance to win these auroras or this, they get interested, and then we're able to kind of to increase the donation. So it's been absolutely outstanding. Thank you much. And thank you, Grim and Grim family, for giving up Grim for all of these streams.
Exactly. All right, everyone, it's time to close it out. I will be back. I'm going to get the new show schedule. This show schedule for the St. Jude stuff has been up for about 2 months now. You've all have known the schedule and stuff, so no big surprises there. However, my regular content will start up again late next week. I'm going to take a few days off, but so the regular content will start up again. My first show is going to be on the end game. Okay, really excited to talk to you about that. So we're going to get back to that good old tried and true Starjump content. For now, though, I'm going to send you over to some guests that were on the show recently, and it's time to give them a little bit of love. I'm going to send you over to 2 Soul Citizens. Make sure you give them some Starjump love. Do appreciate it. Everyone, I want you to have a great night. Thank you for a great St. Jude. Thank you for a great Defense Con. It's been a hell of a good time. Next, we'll set our sights towards Alien Week.